Back here on the Savage Rampage Alt Edition.
Okay, spot that's on the Instinction, still finds the tackle. Not enough time for a Soul Forge though, the scoop!
That's the danger zone right there. Is
yes.
Either you're going to go for ult on an Extinction or Instinction, or you're going to go for that command grab.
Okay, the swipe out, the tackle just staying right in Beatrix's face, but still that's exactly where she wants to be. The far L, the throw for round number 1.
A beautiful far L from Beatrix here, of course, able to confirm with that EX down special here, the heavy version, that riding free. Beautiful confirm into the corner.
Okay, a little bit more patient from the round start, and then immediately they both take to the skies. The Thunderbird brings you right back down with a stomp out with the 2M from BSG.
Nice. Oh, got the 5U.
Yeah, we're being very, very the throw bait, the late Thunderbird taking us off the ground and bringing us straight into an SBA.
Yep, strips at least one Brave point here. Offense is mounting for Have a Nice Day.
Yep.
Good block, but able to chase back down with the dash L of our own here. Despite that guard crush, it's still going to be a full conversion. Not quite kill because we already spent those resources earlier.
Ooh. Yeah, and a full commit to the dash in as well when we had the U command grab to reversal on Wake Up. BSG escapes the corner. Now just looking for one more touch. No meter to your name, the full charge.
Yeah, mistimed it there. Wanted the side swap likely with that roll. Just was not going to get there.
Yeah, just a little bit too far. I like the spacing from BSG. One more PC down the drain, but that extra damage makes the UDP lethal. Have a nice day for game number 1.
And what a brave UDP, because if that was called out by BSG or if we had the armor to get through, then my, oh my. I mean, life was going to be pretty close if I do recall correctly, so might not have been able to armor all the way through that alt DP anyway.
All right, now in game number 2, runs up for the throw, but Have a Nice Day with the wake up backdash. Finds a lot of corner carry off this H riding free.
BC out.
Boost. All right, 50 down the drain here.
Honest. Oh, good read here from Have a Nice Day with the neutral jump H. Now, I was just going to say, the patience that Have a Nice Day has to look for certain tendencies from BSG is paying off in dividends here in this set.
Ooh. Yeah, I like the shimmy attempt, but no bite from BSG. Buys so much space off of it as well, but 100 on the board here for Have a Nice Day. It's almost scary, right? As we're getting this damage from BSG, just barely puts Have a Nice Day into SSBA range.
All right, Delta is available here.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Boss Rock is a healthy individual, but we're talking about a massive combo potential coming from Have a Nice Day. Now that your back's against the wall, a side swap is going to be ideal to get that damage we're looking for. And now, with one Brave point left, calls out the backdash with an ult Thunderbird to finish the round.
You saw the aggression from Have a Nice Day. Even though the health lead was so much in BSG's favor, it's the respect that Delta Clock gives you once you're in that SSBA range that lets you get away with being so aggressive.
Right.
All right, DC out, just going for the early Soul Forge.
Woo! A little bit of an interrupt there from Blue Sky Guy.
Yep. Got some armor stocked up. Ooh, but the immediate challenge on the whip swing.
That's a great call to go for that 2L, which will jump to try to bait out an anti-air attempt or just really guess for that command grab.
There we go, the stomp up out of the corner. Nothing found and gets that space right back. The walk back, ultimate Thunderbird BC'd out by BSG. The one Brave point to his name.
Good job, JU. This is corner carry here. Oh no, actually didn't spend the riding free on this one, just goes for the damage.
All right, spot dodge on the second stomp, but no confirm. BSG fights back.
Look, if Have a Nice Day is going to give you those kinds of chances, BSG, you better make them count. And certainly will. That's a round.
Scary to run that offense. UDP wasn't lethal like the last situation that we saw, but you know that one good mash out kills you with the SSBA. All right, still set point here for Have a Nice Day. The whip swing and straight into the EX fireball. A lot more patient for Hava.
Yeah, very interesting round start here. Got the jump out. Backing away. Good tech.
All right, finds the tackle, finds the sweep, and finds the counter hit confirmed here off of that baited DP.
Scooped up. Here's the trouble. Nice BC away. I'm actually getting the pickup with 2L. Good approach.
The single stomp into the sweep, and the tackle on the minus frames as well. We're armoring our way through to game number 3. Damn, you got Grimnir cheering you on with the Let's Go BSG? That's a sick sign, by the way.
Whoever drew that, wonderful job. I mean, that looks great.
Stellar work here, but you're not in winners finals just yet. Have a nice day. Trying to bring this lead right back.
Honestly, BSG is just dressed for success right now.
It's true. just for the job you want, just for the position in bracket that you want, but down back and gets caught up at the throw once again. Have a nice day.
All right, got scooped up here. Hard read at that distance. We've not seen it quite enough there at that range.
Ooh. Okay, caught on the other side, but all you had was a falling JL, so no full confirm on the board.
The ult slowing down the Thunderbird there, so no challenge.
Yeah. Fireball, ultimate fireball, Soulforge in the corner. BC just waits it out. Now it's -2.
Watch it.
The kick return up. The ultimate armor, it worked, but it kept you locked into the animation. Now have a nice day tying up the health lead.
But how many folks have you seen reach too far into that animation and still get caught from behind?
Exactly.
Good patience again from Have a Nice Day.
All right, SSBA available on both sides. Delta Clock, again, such a big factor, but a single stomp.
And crap, that is a round up here. BSG, 1 round away from locking their position in winner's side top 8.
And you can hear the crowd going crazy for BSG. Have a nice day. Can we stay alive on the winner's side? Playing a lot more patient now on that EX Fireball.
Jump away here. Oh, not gonna get the stomp.
Shades of Kirby down B, but nothing to be found. Instead, brought to the corner. And the Ender with a refund on you, Thunderbird.
Good throw. Or stagger. Yep. Once you see the stagger from Beatrix, it might be an okay call to go for the tech.
Ooh, no, but the drop on the tackle, that's a lot of corner carry and damage left on the table. Now have a nice day. Running away with such a big meter advantage. It's an easy cash out into this SBA.
Oh, I love the base.
The stadium, yeah.
Beatrix.
Oos. All right. Far H riding free. One more round for both of these gamers to stay in the winner's side. All right. Let that round outro rock. One more round start to decide it all.
Backing away here. Nice. Thunderbird. Dash L. Opened up. And you know what? Fortunately, every time we've been caught low off of that riding free, the light edition, it's not been counter hit.
Yeah, so
and
you don't
that's
get the full
huge.
confirm. Yeah.
Huge. Speaking of huge,
God,
that is huge. Off the shoulder, there's a ton of damage potential here. Get the refund. Let's launch even higher. Combo limit for a Soulforge install.
Ooh, the double stomp, but it's UDP to go straight on through the follow-up. Able to get the side swap for it. 2 off of the super jump, but that mash up from BSG. We're not up against the corner, so it's not the kill just yet, but just whittling his way through Hava's health bar.
All right, just so fireball out immediately after the install. A raging strike. BSG will qualify for winners finals here at this LCQ.
He's got the natural camo on that grand blue LED blue. And now heading into the winners finals, like you said, Hava sent down into the shark-infested waters of loser's side.
You want to look at the history of this player. You really do, because honestly, there's been so much growth from BSG in taking down not only bracket demons, but also rising through the ranks of competition here. I really feel like a lot of this run kind of kicked off at first attack for BSG. Immediately resolving that bracket demon issue, initially running into, I believe it was Zippy several times and having a little bit of trouble trying to qualify over that, but then took down Zippy at that first attack and then still rose through those ranks even after. Not taking the entirety of first attack, but that was really a massive stepping stone and realization of how powerful BSG have become in such a short amount of time, and it's still paying off dividends here. Of course, don't forget to vote for your PlayStation Player of the Day. We do have the link in the bottom of the screen here to definitely check that out. We're going to be doing that daily. There's going to be multiple players you can vote for, but definitely check it out. Who are you rooting for and who are you voting for here at Arc World Tour Finals?
Yeah, I think if we ask the crowd right now, you know, BSG is definitely on the top of that list. You know, definitely a crowd favorite. But I know there's so many of you guys watching along at home, so make sure to stop on by and cast your vote. You can cast a vote every single day. It's Player of the Day. So that throughout the entire weekend, you know, hey, maybe someone has a crazy play, an insane comeback, so make sure to show some love.
Yes, indeed. I'm showing a lot of love for everybody hanging out with me here. Let's hear it for Arc World Tour Finals, brought to you by PlayStation Tournaments, folks. All right, that's reasonable. I want to, one more time. Folks, come on. How do we feel about this LCQ, huh?
I get it. You spent your energy cheering on for that last match. I understand, but another barn burner. Heading on into it for the loser's side, we got B-Paw versus Zenith.
This match, are you kidding me? Jatsu.
Yeah.
This is mid-best we're talking about here. This is my territory. Come on over here for a second. Let me tell you about B-Paw.
Let me know.
B-Paw, one of the most tenured players coming out right now in terms of the one, Matera, and then going right into Fairy. Had tried out Cagliostro, had that soul-searching moment, trying to figure out where is my character in Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising?
Yeah.
Now with this 2.0 change, not only for Fairy, but also Matera has really found their own and really started to rise. Even at 1.5, right?
Yes.
We're really concerned about how Fairy was going to play. B-Paul was definitely one of them, but took to the lab. That's right, the lab.
The lab.
And really studied this character and understood that, hey, maybe we were too harsh on Matera at first.
Yeah.
Or, excuse me, on Fairy at first, because this character is actually pretty powerful. Now,
Yeah.
same could be said for Grimnir. Remember early Grimnir? People were like, I don't know, this character might not be so great.
Yeah.
But then suddenly, Zenith comes in like a storm.
Yes.
And
All
shows
right.
us a thing or two about some Grimnir. Not only just Zenith, but I mean, we have players around. I mean, come on, Arc World Tour qualified Zane, right?
Yeah.
Also showcasing why Grimnir is a force to be reckoned with. These two crossing paths is going to be very interesting to see, especially who B-Paw will choose in this matchup against Zenith.
Yeah, and I love that you bring up kind of this character consideration that's been going on for quite some time. I remember when we were in Chicago for a Roundhouse Tag, that was kind of the beginning of where people was like, I don't know how I feel about zoners in this version of the game in particular, right? You know, who knew what V2.0 would hold in store for some of our favorite zoners, you know, favorite with an asterisk.
Yes.
But now, you know, Matera looking better than she's ever been. Fairy, of course, tearing it up with some of the most evil set play, you know, kind of going back to the roots. But I wonder who we're feeling specifically against the Grimnir, right? Both of these characters, you know, kind of have to, I would say, commit, you know, quite a bit to trying to find these anti-airs. And once you set up the quadruple seals, all of a sudden you're, you know, trying to figure out, okay, what approach are we trying to take? Is it the TK air dash to try and get some plus frames? Is it the Z dash to try and trip me up with some, you know, fighter super dash type of movement? Or are we just going to run up and pull up for the throw from full screen? It's hard to say.
Well, you got to remember where B-Paw truly made their mark first and foremost, and that is in BB Tag, right?
Yeah.
Has been a bully in that game, quite honestly. You know, I believe playing 9 in that one. And yeah, we'll see if we can keep up with that mix. That's going to be critical, right? Because honestly, B-Paw, we've seen a lot of folks really try to study that Grimnir matchup, and positioning is a key factor.
Yes.
I've seen so often a lot of these players, especially towards the end of the Arc World Tour qualification sequence, you can really see it around the Kayane Cup and, of course, at Frosty. Both of those events really showcasing position being so important to preemptively snipe out the direction that Grimnir wants to go. If you cut off a route of opening up your defenses, that makes it all the more difficult for Grimnir to close the gap. Neutral is going to be kind of iffy here, especially against a character like Fairy. We'll see if this actually becomes a problem for Zenith at that position, because B-Paw is such a calculated player when it comes to fighting games. Very strong at theory crafting and really labbing things out, so we'll see if that comes out to play. Has gotten plenty of practice here stateside, now partnered with Zane, Paragon's own as well. Let's see if it pays off.
Yeah, see if the lab work is going to be enough. Once again, round 1, B-Paw versus Zenith. We set the seals, and immediately the respect off of the approach allows Zenith to just pull up.
That was important. I'm so glad that just happened, because immediately the seals go up. B-Paw took the position to counter against any approach from Grimnir as best as he could. What a dive, calling out the ult.
Yeah, caught up the Psycho Crusher, but did not catch out the jump in that JL from the top rope. No check with a close M, and it's a spot dodge with the ultimate whip. All right, Far H brings you over to the corner. Runs right into the fireball. Not the worst thing in the world, but the jump caught up by the Psycho Crusher. Once again, even the bounce off of the backboard is a clean confirm for Zenith.
Ooh, see, all right, fair enough, fair enough. Got the back ult special here to cover both sides, but just outside of the range here against Zenith. Oh, it's not your turn anymore. We are in 2.0.
Yeah, maybe try to escape, be a little frantic off of the -2, but still gonna get brought down right back to earth.
Yes, the best option would have been an up dog coming from B-Paw right there. The ult addition here just to make sure we maintain that offense. But that would have been a gamble. Oh, geez. 5H not going to connect here after the roll through.
Yeah, maybe trying to catch a TK attempt there, but still gradually losing space. The dive kick to put ourselves right in, but loses our turn for it. A little bit of tempo loss.
Pressure in the corner here. And this is not somebody you're going to throw bait here. B-Paw is going to be so stoic in that corner position. You are not going to get me to open up to a throw attempt.
Yeah. But the wait, no super jump out, no GG summon, even off the hard knockdown off that UDP, still stuck up against the wall, the immediate J8U.
All right, stagger, you know. Funny enough, I wonder if we see the tech here again, because I do believe there is a nice little setup here for Grimnir that kind of circumvents some changes from 2.0.
Exactly, yeah. Sure, you might be seeing it in a little bit, but is B-Paw going to give you the chance to double run up throw? All the bravery in the world. No mash out from Zenith just yet. We do find the air dash and the catch with the 5L as well.
GG. Oh! How did you know? How did you know? Zenith woke up.
No! Zenith able to take a close round one. What a smile on his face as B-Ball leans back in their chair. What a scramble to decide game number one.
Both of them are feeling that scramble right now. Just taking a moment to breathe.
Yeah.
Zenith, please give me a little bit of a break here.
He's like, hold on. Maybe we got to slow things down a little bit.
We got off on the wrong foot here. Yeah. My name's Zenith.
Yeah, I love the catch that we saw, the walk back to make sure that we were spaced
Yes.
out on the air dash to catch on the way back down, but it not being lethal and Grimnir just being so tricky in these scrambles made it so scary. But the immediate backdash GG set catches you out looking for the seals.
Yes. And again, that quick learning here. You want to try to jump out? Be my guest. I got a couple up dogs.
Yeah, and we got the 6-6M, a little overhead check with that GG set.
Locked in the ult tornado. Very interesting to go for
Yeah.
ult tornado, but called out the DP here. Zenith is going to push for this corner.
Yeah, now we get full corner confirm off the ground. It seals. Bring us over. Didn't quite build up 100 for it though, but no spend on the U seals.
Uh-oh. All right, side swap. Hold on to this pressure. Looking for the BC.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, B-Paw going to have to spend their own to maintain.
Exactly. Had all the time in the world for a high-low, but just waiting out for the defensive option. Zenith staying strong, but caught up by the up dog. GG with the assist as well.
Very important. Good awareness here from B-Paw.
All right, let's see if we can keep that momentum up to tie it back up. The full confidence from B-Paw. 3 seconds of straight dashing in right into the far H. And we lost the corner for it anyway. So that's how it goes.
But the approach, BC, in respecting the turn here, coming from B-Paw.
Right off the ground, off that air dash, just trying to BC to find an escape, the ultimate up dog. Clean knockdown into GG set. Again, that challenge off the U-Tornado like you mentioned earlier, Zero.
So it's critical, right? You force Fairy to block. That does mean no GG on the screen.
Yeah. All right, waited out, spaced off of the hula hoop. All right, EX seal set once again. Ultimate GG, I wonder if that's what you were looking for, but thankfully not punished on the way back down.
Little spot dodge there. And again, trying to set up the hexes. Sees the Gale Dash again. 5L.
Oh, okay. Drop there just a little bit too far for the seal to confirm. Again, these up dogs, these preemptive snipes on the air-to-airs. Working out so well. Another hard knockdown. B-Paw, no BP to his name. But one more touch could be it. Chips a factor too.
Get away from me. Full screen tornado. What an approach to 2L. B-Paw answers back with the game of his own.
There we go. Looking a lot less of a scramble than the end of that game number one, but we still got to keep ourselves locked in. I'm sure the heart rate is exceeding 200 as we speak.
Absolutely. As calculated a player B-Paw is, there's also a lot of heart into the competition that B-Paw puts into this here.
Wait, the chug? There's no way.
Signal, hydrate.
All the way?
All of it.
The full hydration? All right, I'm sorry, Zenith. You're going home at number 7.
I thought another bottle was about to come out.
I thought so too. I thought we were going back to back at the rematch screen. Sometimes anything to, refresh the veins. Refresh the mental real quick.
This is a very interesting juncture to be at in this LCQ.
Yes.
Zenith was definitely picked as a player that would be on the winner side of things. In fact, a lot of folks really thought, even I thought, grand finals here position for Zenith.
Yeah.
But
Seeded number 1.
Yeah.
Well.
So, I mean, of course, all eyes on Zenith here, but B-Paw is no stranger to making this work. I mean, let's not forget that stellar run at Combo Breaker.
Yeah.
And what a heartbreaking performance right at grand finals, no less.
Yeah. And we talked a little bit about this, character crisis for a little while from Roundhouse Tag, kind of thinking maybe it's Fairy or Matera, thinking, when we went to Combo Breaker, oh, maybe I got to break out the Nier. But with Nier's kneecaps, a little bit broken now, sticking on the Fairy for game number 3.
Yes, indeed. It's the final game between these two. Could still go either way. Looking much stronger in game 2, but a 5L. It's overhead from Zenith to start it out. Give me some space, says B-Paw.
Yeah, definitely playing pretty aggro from B-Paw, right? Again, a lot of these deep dashes from the round start, just seeing what Zenith is going to do. Woo! Caught it with the EX whip, brings you right back into the corner off that EX Beppo.
All right, still got Beppo. Oh, my goodness, no! All right, still okay. Nice anti-air. Able to convert this.
Yeah,
goes
pick
for
up off the CM.
You can't be setting up these seals like this. B-Paw still shutting it down in the corner. That's a roundup. B-Paw looking really good right now.
Round up with the lasso, set up the GG, the alley-oop with Beppo, and now 1 round away from knocking out Zenith from this LCQ. Ooh. All right, a bold jump in, but sets the seals, able to find a BC out.
Okay, got our throw.
Little box jump action coming out here from Zenith. Almost sniped out with the 2L, but a little bit too far for a clean confirm. I understand, but the 2M counter hit is clean for the EX whip.
I don't know, J2. Zenith looking a little off kilter right now, the way that Beepaw's been interrupting, but maybe I spoke too soon. That 5H counter hit, able to get the corner carry, setting a strong precedent, but only at 50% on meter.
Woo. You saw that triple air dash as well. Just take to the skies, the little drop, but it still finds the scramble, the throw bait for Zenith, and now 1 round away for both of these players.
Ooh. Is it but fate here for Zenith to advance onward, or will it be quite the Cinderella story here for Beepaw to come out on top? It's the final round. Who's got Beepaw taking it? I want to hear it. All right, but what about Zenith? Who's got Zenith? Nobody on Zenith, are you kidding me?
They're waiting for the third dash to hit on the other side, the check with the guard button, and now maybe they're cheering a little bit more as the health lead.
Oh!
Even up, you've been into the Brave counter, but not ready for the Raging Strike that came right after. Ponder my orb and get me out of this corner.
Yo, I like the bars, J2. That was clean.
Thanks. But do we like the orb, though? Is that gonna be an escape? It's not. The Raging Strike is enough. Beepaw stays alive in the loser's side, knocking out our first seed Zenith at number 7.
J2, I am in shambles right now, but at the same time,
Yeah?
I'm so overjoyed. Look, y'all, that's why we call it mid-best out here stateside. That is Beepaw pulling up right now with this ferry, overcoming Zenith, who was seeded to take this LCQ.
Yeah.
Beepaw.
Staying alive, Paragon's own. It's still shark-infested waters down in the loser's side, but still, to have such a close set under your belt buckle, you know you have a little bit of confidence heading into that loser's quarters.
Absolutely. I mean, a strong performance. And again, somebody who is so studied in the game really takes it to heart every single match through every single tournament they've been into, really trying to figure out how to proceed and be better. And I know these stateside players have been in these lobbies really grinding out sessions to figure out how to overcome the competition coming over here. And even still, like I said, getting that practice from Zane directly has helped tremendously for so many players who have been having their eye on Zenith. But that's the beautiful thing about Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising and all the competitors here this weekend is that we are all looking to get better and just play and enjoy the game. And that's huge. Like, I've seen folks still get sets. The players are down in the players' lounge, still playing sets, and it's going to be a glorious time throughout this entire weekend here. You're definitely going to find no shortage of excitement throughout the ARC World Tour Finals.
Yeah. All these gamers trying to improve and get better throughout the U.S., whether it's trying to get better placements at your favorite online or your offline, trying to kill it at the local, or maybe you got a beef set headed up, you know, 100, 200, 500 on the line. We all have different motivations for heading on into it and glowing up as players. But a couple players headed up to the stand for the other side of our losers top 8. We got Keikatekoi versus Niantic up next.
Where'd you put Keikatekoi on your list? Sorry if you did.
You know,
you didn't, did you?
I gave a little underestimation. I gave it the commentator heuristic. I was like, you know, they're going to do great. They know the game. They watch hours and hours of footage every single day. But still, to go up against the caliber of talent down here in the LCQ, you know, admittedly was not on my list. And I am glad to be proven wrong.
You know, for me, it was, I want to see EU show up, and I know Dudekoff is in there.
Yes.
And I was like, I know Keikatekoi is also in there. And you know what? Yeah, I kind of want to see it, but I don't know. Like, I really don't know if Keikatekoi will make it into this top 8. And sure enough, showing up and showing out over Krylos to cross that finish line here.
Yeah.
Krylos was on a heck of a tear.
Yeah.
And then to be stopped by this TO nonetheless.
Exactly. My TO can play and so can my commentator, but heading on into it, looks like the buttons are all good. Looks like the buttons are not all good, which is why we have the check.
So true. Now, of course, Niantic, you know, pulling out here for California themselves. You know,
dude, I really thought we were going to go down, and the only change was going to be turning taunts on. I was like, there's no way.
Necessary. Necessary for playability.
It's true. It changes the entire meta.
If I can't taunt, then what am I even playing for?
Exactly. Why compete? What am I fighting for if not the style? All right. The buttons are all good. Heading on back into the character select, we got the Beatrix coming out from Niantic, but of course the Beelzebub from Keikatekoi.
Yes, indeed. Keikatekoi just really showing up with this Beelzebub here.
Yeah. This is a character we really don't get to see too much. You know, there are a lot of folks who I think have played this character since vanilla and then have swapped off in the newer version of the game, thinking, oh, okay, maybe there's something, you know, some greener pastures ahead.
Right.
But interestingly, you know, I've heard this character be a decent pick to another talk of the town, Versusia, right? Where normally that EX pillar, you know, just dominates the neutral in so many ways, but, you know, going up decent against Versusia, maybe against Grimnir as well. But either way, we're talking about Beelzebub versus Beatrix for the other side of our losers top 8 heading on into it.
Yes, indeed. Beatrix, of course, you know, such a strong character still without receiving too many changes coming into 2.0. And this matchup is still pretty interesting because you have to be kind of cautious on those nail approaches coming from Beelzebub. Makes it a little tricky to close the gap, but of course, in terms of damage output, you're definitely going to see a lot of potential. It's no secret. Beatrix hurts. All right, you know, let's be real.
This is the character that kills you, yeah. Let's see if we're going to be able to keep her at bay. Once again, top 8 loses. The immediate dive comes out from Keikatakoi.
Yes, yes. You
There we go,
can
scoop.
throw the medium version here if you're well aware your opponent's coming at you.
Yep.
Nice
Full
stuff.
charge off the arrow as well. Again, another jump back dive.
Stagger 2M. Let's keep the EX going here.
Yeah, the full charge on the arrows as well. A lot of confidence from Cake, just saying, all right, I want you to try and interrupt, but the interrupt we do, the run up 2L is going to work.
Go teleport out of there. No corner for you.
Yep.
Avoids the riding free. Oh, just outside the range of the dive. That's huge from the answer. Get the dash element answer back. What a jab.
Yeah, Trigonometry stands eating good, but the down back caught out here about the command grab. Oh, what a action, but still. All right, first round here to Cake.
It can be so tricky too. I mean, the reach that Beelzebub has. If you can't contest Beelzebub, who's taken to the skies like this,
Yep.
then you're allowing Beelzebub to make that forward approach anyways there. So there's nothing for Beelzebub to fear, as we can see, to make these jump-ins against Beatrix here. So no anti-airs is going to be, you know, something to look out for here.
Yeah, found the whip punish off of the far edge, got the corner for it, but still DP out. A little bit of room to fight back here from Cake.
Overhead. Still our turn, so
Yeah.
we BC out. Nice call on the teleport, chasing with the dash L.
Yeah, getting a little predictable in the ways that we're trying to escape the corner, but the jump out immediately sniped by the 6-6L. Niantic just looking for immediate and finds a full confirm for his troubles.
And that is just enough to clear the health bar of Keikatakoi.
All right, tied up on the rounds here.
Spot dodge the first nail. Got to be cautious on the. I'm telling you, I want a 2H. I want a DP out of there.
Yeah. All right, spot dodge on the vacuum. Just trying to find any way to take our turn back. Again. Okay, spot dodge, but caught up by the follow-up with the EX Black Flies.
Ooh. Try to challenge the 5L. Nice dive once again here. Keikatakoi really taking advantage of the fact that we're not getting called out on these dive kicks. We're not getting called out in the aerial approach. Ooh. Nice jump. Preemptive. Called out the super. JU. And that's a full corner combo. We will spend super here.
Here we go. The behind the back just to
No,
make sure we get
won't.
that punish off of the whip command. No, the drop of the U Thunderbird. It's okay. You got Oki for it, but still a little meter down the drain. Not the cleanest knockdown, but finds another hit off the scramble. Niantic stays alive.
One more interaction. It's interesting. We end up spending for the ult here, going for the Thunderbird.
Yeah.
Does get a little bit of extra damage. You will build back up on the super meter, and this should be death.
Far Age starter baits out the DP and SBA straight to the bank. Niantic takes game number 1.
A little scary on a couple sequences there, but still able to clean it up. The fact that we even dropped that ult Thunderbird, I was still able to pick up the set. That's pretty big there, because a worse off player would have been panicking at the fact that we dropped that corner situation.
Believe in victory. Battle 1.
All right, back on into it, game number 2. Oops. A little 6-6M to start things off, buy ourselves a little bit of space, but the whip on the dive kick, no challenge.
Dash L. I love the just blocking here from Niantic. That's very important on that. Oh, okay. Look, all right, chat. I know. I said DP. I know I said that.
But not like
listen,
that. Not
but
there.
listen, hear me out.
Ooh, okay, I like the dive kick to air stall over the fireball. Finds another hit afterwards with a counter. 100 meter here for Keikatakoi, but saving it for the potential last hit.
Dash up the caution here, respecting either the wake up reversal, because we know there's a possibility. Go back dash. You thought you'd get that raging strike.
Yeah, tried to wait it out off of the vacuum, but nothing to be found. Little dash
Yes.
block action, but still cut on here with the counter hit. 6-6L Keikatakoi. 1 round up.
Okay. Katakoi could tie this up here if we continue the set. The dive. See, Niantic making adjustments, trying to call out these air-to-airs.
Yeah.
That was a JM attempt. That's a fine call. Looking for the counter hit off Riding Free. Not a chance, but the counter hit off Dash L will be sufficient enough.
There we go. Brings you over to the corner, just running this meter up. Next hit gives you SBA. Ooh! And the run up off of the close H. You have that slowdown to find another. The routing. I don't know, man. I don't think this Beelzebub guy survives. Get the link off the EX Fireball and straight into the Super Niantic. Now on set point.
If you are not sitting in this crowd feeling the rumble every time Beatrix sends out a super, you are missing out.
Dude, it's a base boost. I hear the Delta clock, and I know our rises are about to just rumble. Cross star throw, I imagine, is not what you're looking for if you're Niantic. Now stuck in the corner because of it.
Okay, right, free Dash L, what are you pressing for? That might have been a DP attempt there,
Yeah.
and you see Niantic giving the respect. That's a full combo. We do get super meter off of this.
Yeah. Might just go for the release, but no! Again, tries to go for the U Thunderbird. That's the second time you've dropped that.
No.
The way down on the DP, and it's a clean punish on the way down. TP to get a little bit more room.
I want to ask about that because I'm pretty sure at that point, because you did get the conversion off one sequence before.
Yeah.
But I wonder if we're going that frame kill and we're still going after it. But still, that's so expensive to go for Oki there anyway. All right, nice shimmy for corner position, and by golly, Niantic does close it out here against Katakoi.
Sent it with the Sapphire Slash, but still, what a placement against this insane talent pool in the LCQ. Katakoi out at number 7.
Well, I mean, a great performance nonetheless, showcasing that EU is certainly a force to be reckoned with. I mean, look, so many of them are qualified in the Artwork Tour Finals.
Yep.
We'll be seeing them actually tomorrow for those group stages for the first time. But
Yep.
boy, oh boy, the action is so hot. We took off the pajamas, and we still have so much to look forward to that we need to crank up the AC, take a little bit of a break. Don't go away. More of this LCQ action will be coming up right after this.
It begins. Another battle.
Let's get this done.
It is time we settle this. Shadows surround you. Let's go. No time to waste. Feel the dragon's wrath! Tensatsuya GK! Let's end this!
The ultimate destination for premium, exclusive, and official Guilty Gear Strive merch? Check out the Art Shop US. 10-0, officially licensed FGC merch by FGC artists for FGC fans. Visit merch.10o.gg.
What's good, what's poppin', gamers? Welcome back to some more Grand Blue action over here at the ARC World Tour Finals 2024 LCQ presented by PlayStation Tournaments. We just had Beelzebub versus Beatrix, an insane set, and we have more insane sets for you guys headed up next. For those of you just tuning in, it's your boy J2 hanging out with Zero. How we doing?
I'm doing great. You know, I'm trying to keep up with it because my, oh my, this LCQ is nuts.
Yeah.
Like, absolutely nuts. If you didn't tune in, Zenith is out.
Yeah.
That's the player that we thought would be making it out of this alongside Have a Nice Day, who is still in this bracket here. I mean, we could take a look at this top 8 because, my goodness, this is a wild turn of events. So on the winner's side of things, we still have Incendiate and BSG hanging out in the background here with an extraordinary set for both players. And then up next, we are about to get into the action with Destin up against B-Paw here. And then, of course, Have a Nice Day will be going up against Niantic right after that. So here we are. I mean, this is quite the spread of characters and the position of the players. No way.
No. I'm particularly excited to see this set as well, because this is, you know, battle of a couple zoners at heart who have kind of jumped back and forth between different characters in the cast, seeing what they're feeling. You know, we've already seen Cagliostro, Nier coming out from Destin, and we know we have the Vicala in the back pocket as well. Beepaw, of course, we know for the Fairy, but has the Matera available as well, so I wonder what we'll see.
I mean, you know what's crazy? There was that small era where Beepaw was playing Cagliostro too.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, for a little bit.
A very, very tiny window.
Yeah, exactly. He was thinking about it. He was like, wait, this character's a little tricky, a little quirky. I might rock with it. And then eventually, you know.
I mean, as many Cagliostros that Beepaw had to deal with, at what point did that fall into place? You know what?
True,
Actually,
yeah.
This character might be pretty nice.
Wait, this character's kind of annoying. I might have to tap in for the one time. And then, you know, the public opinion of Fairy got even better. So back to Unreliable. But, all right, let's see what we got for this button check real quick. Let's make sure everything's all good before we head on into it.
Yes, indeed. Of course, you know, these two have been very interesting throughout the entire set here out of this LCQ. Destin has had quite the run. Has made some extraordinary appearances in online brackets.
Yep.
I mean, even Beepaw, right? You know, such a hard worker. I mentioned earlier, you know, really getting a lot of those sets along with the Paragon crew. I think that has been pivotal to the fact that we've seen Beepaw rise so much in this game. Just has really been grinding out these sets, really exploring opportunities to, you know, become a better player, and really takes those notes to heart. I mean, I said earlier, Beepaw is such a technical player, but also really a heart player when it comes down to it, able to lab it out, but then still show up and show out when it comes to competition time. Because, man, the confidence that I've heard from Beepaw all day long throughout this LCQ has been nothing short of extraordinary.
Yeah, and this set is going to be so sick as well, right? Just thinking about it kind of as like, okay, Beepaw as like old guard of vanilla. Destin obviously has been playing for quite some time, but, you know, a young man in his own right, fighting for his right to make it into this LCQ.
Yes. I mean, and that's what goes to show with Rising, no matter how long you've been playing Grand Blue, like the accessibility of the game is just wide open. There's so many options to play, whether you're doing simple inputs or technical inputs. There's a lot of tools inside the game to help you understand and study and really kind of explore matches. I can't stress this enough. The character guide inside the game giving you a great starting point to understanding the character. Excuse me, hold on.
Wait.
Jadesy.
Hold up. We were talking about it all day. I didn't think we'd see it. Destin locking it on the Vicala. Of course, Beepaw pulling up with the Fairy for losers quarters. All right, let's see it. A battle of zoners, but instead Beepaw just taking the aggressive from the top rope off of the super jump. It's GG dead. I can't keep up.
I got to give credit where credit is due. This iteration of Vicala, slightly better.
Yes.
But also UI element, that, you know, quality of life for the character, showcasing the next item when the thought bubbles pop up. That has been huge for her getting her game plan going instead of having to guess and react.
Exactly.
But man, trying to zone out with this character can be very tricky, especially against Fairy. You can ult right through the cannons.
Yeah, the screen pollution, but the projectile invul check from the full screen. But Beepaw, a one light confirm away. Didn't believe in the counter hit though.
This is the thing. Like, this is what is Vicala going to do at a full screen scenario where Beepaw is in control in the corner? We had to push out, but we're looking to chip, and that is going to be an anti-air. Destin goes down around.
Yeah. The full patience, the commit to the EX Beppo. Updog takes the first.
Look, this is a tall order. I said before, like, Destin has really made this character work, but it has not been an easy path.
Yeah.
This being the first appearance of Vicala showing up in this bracket. Oh no, air to air, nice conversion.
Damn, I love the run-up to make sure we weren't getting caught by GG that earlier, and that air-to-air like you mentioned, right? Just being super aggressive and beating Beepal where he's at. Now up against the wall, the ultimate whip buys a little bit of space and time back here. But then, the deep run, the full screen, it's a close heavy, but nothing to be found. Destin not going to twitch and still fighting off this mid-screen dominance.
Just barely holding onto this life lead. We can just keep chipping away. Watch out for the rat trap. That is certainly an option to snipe up with an ult version here.
Yeah, careful for the Dormouse. Looking for the high version now.
Nice
the chomp and the roll right through. Not trying to give up any of this space for Beepal.
Oh, want to interrupt here. Yeah, you can't go for the down special for Vicala here. Sets up Orb. If you're going to go for the cannonball, that does take out GG, but...
Ooh. I do not wish to ponder any longer. Scary. Vicala's got a lot of range on some of these normals, but didn't want to swing into the orb. I like the patience from Destin, but no detonate to catch, so we run up into the overhead for game number 1.
I want you to pay attention to the distance in that corner situation. If y'all want to hit the replay, clip it right now, because honestly, that spacing was important. We're trying to call out the ult special from Vicala, the forward edition.
Yeah.
Rockets go off. We're away for the one reversal that Vicala has.
Yeah, projectile DP, definitely a tricky reversal to try and manage, especially against the character who can just outspace it safely with some of these normals and specials. Now, once again, we're stuck in this corner. Give us enough room to look for the cannon, though.
And I'm shocked we went right back into the set here with Vicala.
Yeah, still sticking around and caught out by the run-up JL. Again, this instant overhead with the threat of GG right below.
All right, substantial lead for Beepaw here. Still going to chip away. Nice throw.
Walk it up, GG set again.
No.
3 overheads in a row to put 3 rounds in a row. Beepaw, 1 round away from sealing out the set.
All right, I need to see something here, Destin. And you can see you don't have the player cam quite yet, but chat, I'm telling you, the gears are turning for Destin as they try to solve this offense coming from Beepaw. Nice.
Okay, sniped out of the sky, not going to get a confirm off the Ratsengon though, and gets side swapped for it too. Baited out on the BC, but doesn't get a confirm off that counter hit close heavy.
And there's no escape from the corner. The overhead does get blocked with a challenge with the 5L. And let's get out of the corner using the Raging Chain.
Didn't believe in the GG detonation, just running up right behind the chompers.
Change though. Good position here, but ults, yeah, calling out the trumpet. That's the sound cue that it's my turn, no longer yours.
Exactly. Wait it out. We got the cannons trained on your position. We hired these cannons to hold you down, and the 5L stops the approach from Beepaw, tying up the rounds.
Okay. And that's the thing, the snowball effect from Vicala can be very difficult to stop, because once you do get pushed back in that corner, and she's just set playing you, it's going to be hard to get out. We had that one opportunity from Beepaw, sound decision. Now we got to figure out the rest of the set.
Here we go. Sending out GG once again, maybe caught out of a jump attempt from Destin. Now we're up against the wall once again.
Whoa.
These bold mash outs, catching out Beepaw, and we saw this in the previous set, right, where he's so content to go for these deep dashes, looking for a fuzzy mash, but the wake up 5Ls, the whip to put you right back in, and the bait on the UDP as well.
It's a big opportunity for Beepaw, and it all mounted from a whiffed rat trap sending out here.
So much damage on the double close ages. One more mix to send it all. It's been overhead the entire set, but to seal it out, the 2L does the job. A 2-0 for Beepaw, sending Destin home.
Destin, of course, again, I can't stress this enough. Destin has put in a ton of work with this character.
Yes.
It is a tall mountain to climb against some of these characters in the cast, despite even the changes hitting this character here being a little bit better to help out in terms of defense and offense. But boy, oh boy, when you talk about that range, someone who outclasses you in terms of zoning with a character, that's all the more difficult to try to get your game plan going. You saw so often that down special getting called out by a far-reaching normal from Fairy, or even going for the 5S from Fairy. There's so many tools that Fairy has to just negate what Vicala is trying to do.
Exactly. And I mean, Destin is kind of one of the biggest Vicala reps over here in NA. He was teaching Lily Pichu a little bit about some of those B&Bs, but we gotta give Beepaw his flowers. Moving on into that losers semis, and now we gotta find his opponent as well. We got Have a Nice Day versus Niantic coming up next in a little bit.
Yes, indeed we do. And of course, it's time to vote for your PlayStation Player of the Day. That's right, every single day you can go to the link that you see below me and vote for your Player of the Day, brought to you by PlayStation. There's a lot of action going on, whether it be Under Night in Birth 2, Bramble Fans vs. Rising, or Guilty Gear Strive. There's a lot of action going on. And you know what? You can give flowers to whatever player you so choose, whether it be Destin or Beepaw or any of the competitors in this LCQ. Heck, anyone in the group stages currently qualified. Those could be up on each day.
Yeah, exactly. And you can vote for a different player each and every day, so make sure to stop on by and send your love as we send you guys into our next set. Once again, Have a Nice Day versus Niantic.
All right, one more stop here for Have a Nice Day on the path to try to make their way back up. This is the other pick, right? This is the thought that, man, it's going to Have a Nice Day qualifying for this Group A position, and Niantic will be showing up here as well.
Yeah, we got the bento box coming out from Have a Nice Day as well. Trying to mask the H riding free timings, I understand. Trying to keep as much surprise factor on the jump scare as possible. But speaking of that riding free, I mean, we have our button check. We have our protagonist real quick, but heading into the real match is going to be our first Beatrix mirror, if I'm not mistaken, of this LCQ top 8.
Yes, indeed. We'll see if that holds true once we go to that character select screen.
Yeah.
You know, Beatrix, interestingly enough, kind of plays that weird mirror match, right? If she's trying to play against herself, because they both are jockeying for that neutral position. 5H is a great tool for her, but of course, leaves that lingering hurt box that can be challenged. So it's one of those situations where if you're standing at that mid-screen range, who pulls the trigger first? Because likely that's the one that's going to go down if you're spaced well enough against your own character.
Yeah, when you're, you know, trying to figure out what the dynamics of a mirror match are going to be, you try and think about, okay, does my character have counterplay to his or her own strongest tools, right? Does Beatrix have a good way of playing keep out against herself? And while we have the far H, you know, trying to stop things like riding free and Thunderbird at the same time is difficult for anyone in the cast, you know, let alone her. So immediately letting that L riding free rock and gets the full counter hit confirmed for it.
Absolutely. Round start, riding free. Look, I don't think any Beatrix player expects other Beatrix players to do that.
They're like, okay, I know you're thinking of it, but when are you actually going to pull the trigger, right? But 6XL, it's, you know, the mirror, the shared brain cell, and again, that riding free gets you out of the corner here.
Dash out here does get the opener, triple attack. Extend for corner is not going to hit the wall.
There we go. All right, Niantic has the corner right now. Of course, Niantic rocking the default. Have a nice day in the WhatsApp Beatrix. I want to know he's stuck in the corner right now, just gradually tearing away with the U fireballs.
Yeah, I was going to say Shamrock Beatrix. We're pretty close to St. Patrick's Day.
Close enough, yeah. I think it might have just passed, but passing our way through coast to coast with that H riding free. But it's BC back out again, jockeying for position with every defensive resource.
All right, does get blocked out. Oh, missed time. I'm pretty sure that 5L could challenge there.
Yeah. All right, U fireball just trying to find some plus frames. Do we let the UDP rock? No, even with all the meter on the board. One more hit, the jump scare. U riding free, and now we send it with the SSBA.
Yes, indeed, just the EX edition for that Delta, just to make sure we get that extra time for triple attack. And since we know we got the super, may as well send for finish.
H riding free, my beloved. You're trying to shimmy or space yourself out to that far H range and look for a whip punish, and all of a sudden, you're getting caught out with this instant low and seeing it once again. H riding free with a whip on that 6XL. Have a nice day, able to swap up the sides.
Oh, that's a big counter hit. Thank you for this change, by the way. Greatly appreciated, Side Games. Massive counter hit. Let's make people pay for making mistakes. Wait.
Curse of Niantic be upon ye. It's the drop on the U Thunderbird once again. Able to escape the corner for it as well. The check off of the L riding free.
All right, dash L.
That masher.
I was very close to the wall. Not quite close enough.
All right. Knocking on the doors with these 6XLs, but finally letting a BC rock.
Ooh, 5L interrupt here. I'm going to scramble for 5L, absolutely. If that's 6 frames, I'm pressing.
Exactly, send it. If you're going to be a little greedy off your post 6XL plus frames, I might as well try and interrupt, but it's just been putting out one button, hold back, one button, hold back. Finally, it's a no escape throw.
Yep, trying to get the deep dash up, a delay with close heavy, trying to catch a counter hit.
Yep.
Not quite working out. But dash up, 2L, that was tricky because I didn't think that was coming in the range.
Yeah, just barely at the tip of the toes, but still able to find the hit. Spend the BP, but no SBA confirmed. And the command grab is enough to kill Niantic. Takes game number 1 on the Beatrix mirror.
Believe in victory.
She really said it's like looking in a mirror, man.
Well,
you and I break the 4th wall. There's only 2 Beatrixes on the screen, only 2 corners. And one throw tech to start it off.
Oh,
Niantic
no.
with the L riding free.
Yep, L riding free was counter hit, but didn't recognize it, sent it all the way. That could have been a full corner carry, massive damage.
Yeah. Ooh. There you go, the M riding free from downtown, though. Didn't think that it would be a threat.
Oh, see, and that's what we're doing every single time we make that deep run up with close heavy.
Yeah.
Gonna catch backdash or maybe even a button press attempt.
Yeah, just trying to look for these delay mashes, but still caught in the corner. All the patience in the world from Have a Nice Day, whittling away at the HP. You didn't want to go for the second far H. I understand you're looking for that riding free, but when it finally came, no reaction in time. Niantic Another hit up against this wall.
Oh no, thought we were gonna get a BC, and unfortunately, gonna get scooped. Never mind.
Thought we were gonna get a BC. Gets RS for your troubles. That Raging Strike just stripping away another breakpoint. Look, the ultimate fireball just says, unhand me.
If my first BC fails, I'll try again, and it might get the Raging Strike, and we certainly will close out a round with the EXDP.
Yeah. Now Niantic 1 round away from sending out Have a Nice Day before even making it to this loser semis. Can the Beatrix from Canada hold on?
What is happening, Jinsu?
He's got to hold on strong.
Not able to confirm. Too much of a delay right there off the light.
Yeah. And send it off the fireball a little bit close, but still challenges to the far H. H riding free.
I just want to reset right there because damage mitigation was going to be far too large to spend our abilities.
There we go. The U fireball catching on the backdash like you mentioned, but that UDP sniping us out, giving us the hard knockdown.
Here we go. Life lead in favor of Niantic.
Yeah. Run it up, a little far L pressure, a little shimmy action, but no bite from Have a Nice Day. Finds the sweep.
A triple low. Good tech. Yeah. Ride free, but it's not the Delta, so that could have been far worse for Niantic.
Yeah, exactly. Not the worst thing in the world. Still has a health lead, but away from that 100-meter threshold where you want for the SBA.
Okay, respecting the turn after the BC. One Brave point on it. That could have been death right there.
Ooh, okay, the whip 2H, but no punish coming out from Have a Nice Day. The stagger. The
Oh, that's it!
The mash out of the 2L! But you don't have any more Brave points behind it.
Well, hold on now. Oh,
No,
okay,
you didn't have Delta Clock. You were just barely out of SSB range. Have a Nice Day. One more chance to stay alive. Blocks out the U Thunderbird. No BP to his name. 100-meter on the board. Can we find something off of this 2L?
Don't open up. Don't you stand up, and it's a run-up. Thunderbird ult addition to call out the press from Niantic. And what I thought we were going to get, since we ran out of meter, I thought Niantic was going to go for ult, either riding free or Thunderbird to extend a little bit further. I think Thunderbird would have been the better choice. Either way, counter hit light. This is what I'm talking about. Full extension here, off the wall. Strong setup here for Hava, but the side swap with throw.
All right, walk it out. Nothing found off of the shimmy attempt, so it's a BC straight into the far L. Yeah, but the drop there. Tried to go for a close H.
Shell here.
Yep. Ooh. Snipes out the U startup. That's 50-meter down the drain. Looking for shimmy again with the throw a little bit shallow on the run-up.
Right, the great call out here from Hava. Nice dash shell. Just take the damage right away. Nope. Can't be throwing fireballs when I got ult.
Ooh. So much meter. It's fully loaded guns on both sides. We got Delta Clock for Have a Nice Day, but time is running out. The command grab seals it for Niantic. 2-0.
You know what? Where's my bracket paper? Where's my bracket? I gotta burn that. I gotta burn that.
I would not have predicted this.
I gotta burn my bracket. It didn't happen. It didn't happen.
Strike it from the record.
Yo!
They struck from the loser's side here. Niantic moving on to losers semis. One Beatrix down and one moves on.
Huge, and that goes to show you that anything was possible in this LCQ. It all started with the rumbling of some of these players getting knocked down in losers kind of early. Like I said, Tux putting Zenith in losers, and that shook the entire LCQ. I can't tell you how many players walked us at 0. Did you know? Did you know what happened?
They walked up to you and they were like,
have you heard the word?
That's your top one pick down there in the loser
side.
side.
He's like, whoa, yeah, hold on.
He said, my top one pick. Hold on, the seeding said it was the top one
look
pick.
Look at this bracket, though, J2. Just look at this bracket.
Let's check it out.
Are you kidding me? So right now in winners finals, we still have Incendiate up against Blue Sky Guy.
Yes.
And then, of course, loser semis, we got Niantic up against B-Paw. Yo, B-Paw in loser semis right now? By the way, that was on my groupings of my top 8.
I mean, you said it yourself, right? Mid-best showing up and showing out down here on the West Coast, trying to stay alive on the losers' side. Shark-infested waters are gradually getting more and more, ran through. But Niantic versus BFOS still going to be a barn burner of a set, but Incendiate BSG.
You know, another one of my top 8 picks, BSG. Yeah. So, you know, I'm not completely on it. 6 of my picks made it into this top 8.
I mean, BSG was Incendiate's pick to take the whole LCQ, so now he's heading up against him in that winners finals. He's like, wait. Did I prepare for this reality? Am I ready for it to go down like this?
Did I just sabotage myself?
He's right beside me?
Oh, man. Dress for Success is Blue Sky Guy again. The rise of BSG throughout the final half of Arc World Tour is a sight to behold, but Incendiate is also quite the performer out here, especially on these online brackets, now being able to step up to the occasion here for this LCQ. This is quite the bracket. I can't believe it. I did not think I would see this on the side of the bracket here, I'll be honest.
In the winners finals
Yeah.
side, no less. So even though one of these games gets sent down, you know, in this, what we could call a homie team kill, not quite regional, but, you know, they still have another chance to fight it back out again. I wonder. Of course, we're going to be seeing the Basaraga from PSG. We have the Siegfried as the pocket pick for Incendiate here, but I imagine we're going to be locking in on the Luane. Yes, at full screen, maybe you're giving Basaraga the opportunity to get Soul Forge for free and then aggress with some of these armor moves, whether it's Stomp or whether it's Tackle. But a master of just approaching behind what you can set at full screen, whether it's Catbot, whether it's setting up the bros, you know, Luane, feeling pretty comfortable and I think okay with giving up a little bit of that tempo.
Yeah, you know, at that full screen range, you do have so much opportunity to really set up the, you know, like the Catbot to also beam. You got missiles to kind of keep up with the attempt at going for Soul Forge from Basaraga. You can snack up so you can rebuild your health, try to prolong your life in the set here. You can really zone out against Basaraga for an extended period here, but that's probably not going to stop PSG when you think about the armored opportunities that they have alongside with like shoulder check.
Yep.
You know, of course, we do have the Savage Rampage to close the gap. It's going to be fascinating how these two cross paths. Honestly, I'm more terrified of what Basaraga could do to Luane, to be honest with you.
Exactly. Once you've got him up against the corner, yes, Luane has one of the you know, more annoying reversals in the cast. It has the parry as well, and the UDP if you decide to spend that 50. But for the character that can threaten that command grab off of the stomps, you know, it's not going to be easy peasy to escape.
No, not at all. We get the full lore dump here for the Luanes.
Bros, I'm craving a fruity beverage. Cheers to that. Heading on into it. Winners finals. Let's see it. Incendiate versus PSG.
Already got the throw. Nice call on the stagger. But now we own this corner and see if the mix begins. Quick little salad. That's the appetizer for the match. Missiles away.
The deep dash didn't want to get throw baited. We saw that previous set, but instead gets caught out here. A late tech getting caught up with a cat bot.
Body splash here. More cat bot missile. Oh, the handshake. Ever the classic here for Grand Blue.
There we go. Sweeping the spot dodge. Gets our Soul Forge, but the trade on the armor, again, it's going to work out so well for the Ultimate Bros.
Overhead, and yes, reversal. The ult command grab. Something you really got to watch out for on the side of Basaraga.
Yep.
We make a constant joke that we almost never see the super from Basaraga, and that's exactly why. The one reversal opportunity we have here.
Yeah, exactly. Having 50 for that wake-up command grab, having 50 for the ultimate tackle is just so valuable when you're trying to contest neutral. Stays alive off of the HPA, and now so much meter in the bank. Ultimate Fireball does not go for the Soul Forge, instead looking for the chip. And 2L's gonna take the first round.
Okay. Down to the wire, no less. I mean, a single touch away on either side.
All right, the walk back, just going for the Soul Forge. Sniped out by a single laser, but I think that's a win as far as neutral goes for PSG. Now the mash out off of the close light.
Stagger, set another one out here. Fireball, corner position. That's why we go for the shoulder check.
There we go. Low 2U action, knocked down in the corner, but still finding a way back out. Jump back past the bros, only for 668 to catch our jump backs.
All the way here. Oh.
Here we go. Armor's not going to save you as long as I'm spot dodging. I got the bros right behind me, and we got the 6XL pressure as well. No wall bounce to be seen.
Tech, watch it, watch it.
Oh, watch this. Sends it on the UDP. That's a clean punish here for PSG. Send out the Catbot missiles.
Off the wall we go. What a game one here for PSG. Excellent call out there with the JM.
Dress to the nines to take game number one. Incendiate taking a second to reconsider. Do we want to bring out the Siegfried as that pocket pick, or do we want to reassess our game plan? We're heading on back into it, and it's back to the Luane.
Yeah, it's pretty interesting to go. I mean, Luane, not the worst pick, right? Excellent parry.
Ooh, there we go. Caught out of the jump.
Send the homies out. Ooh, before the Soul Forge can activate there with no armor.
Yeah. There we go, the Scythe and the Stone, the Ultimate Fireball just to clear the bros off the screen, but we didn't buy you too much in terms of plus frames or positioning.
All right. Look a little corny. Yeah, a little corny out here.
Okay, the whip and the catch on the 668 as well, just waiting for the cross-up even with all that screen noise.
Good call here from PSG.
All right, a little Raging Strike action. You got one more Raging Chain if you choose to spend it, but 5L going to go straight into the HPA. It's time to play a little Mario Party, just dodging all of these lows to avoid any of that chip damage.
Oh, and BSG cleanly navigating the HPA. And we're sitting on match point here. Or, excuse me. No, wait, hold on. This winner's finals.
Yep. Got a little bit more room to breathe, but does not want to be down in that 2-0 this early. BSG just running away with the momentum.
There we go, off the wall with the awesome sauce, full extension here. Set up the cap off for that plus pressure. Get off of me with that BC.
Unhand me. There we go. The air stall, a little down B action. Waited out, run up fireball. Okay, maybe trying to catch on a backdash. Waited out. Ooh, a little throw bait action, counter hit off of the cat bot. But another whiff throw coming out from Incendiate, losing all that space you just bought.
Oh, you thought you could parry? Excuse me. I have a command grab here. Thank you.
All right, send out the punch. Waited out post cat bot. A little light pressure here, nothing to be seen. Send it with the HPA.
Yes. Ooh, I like it. To punish the command grab attempt. Hard read from Incendiate.
Yep. Popping bottles here in the corner. Now we send the rockets. Empty jump, but nothing to be seen. No reversal threat either with no meter. So forward. And the back run as well, right out of range. Incendiate. One round up.
Okay, not out of the woods yet.
Battle 3. Engage.
They jump in round start and some medium to kick things off, and Soul Forge activation almost instantaneously.
Yeah, armor through the cat bot, armor through the bros, but you still got to catch the Wayne waiting on the other side. Now it's a counter hit starter here for Incendiate. Finds the wall bounce.
Good patience here. Able to fight our way out with the ult edition of the Rampage.
There we go, scooped over to the other side. Gets our Soul Forge, but the armor spent. Yeah, with no block in the fireball, not able to safely get that 5U, but the run under is clean from Incendiate. Finds another hit.
Full extension here. Now, you might want to spend HPA just to get that breakpoint back here, but Incendiate feeling confident in the mix, needs that final touch and roll.
There we go, escape the corner. Now we're looking for an HPA checkmate. Has to be perfect on these spot dodges to try and avoid death by human pyramid attack. Staying alive, but catches out the spot dodge timing. Incendiate ties it up.
Hey, the reactions on those spot dodges was insane from BSG. Be proud of that one, but unfortunately not able to shut down this game too. We're tying it all up, as you said.
You saw the reactions of the crowd too? They were like, oh, good heavens.
That was pretty good.
Tried to stay alive, but couldn't do it. The sweep caught out by the EX Awesome Sauce. Oops. Fighting for our lives here. Spot dodge on the ultimate fireball. Keeping the corner after quite a scramble. All that meter down the drain. The jump over on the ultimate fireball. Once again, the bros keeping you locked down.
Scooped up, Incendiate finding their groove.
Yep. Ooh. Tried to go for the ultimate fireball, but sniped on the startup.
Knockdown full extension here, but you're looking worse for wear on health. Ooh. Yeah, I was going to say one touch in the chip, and I love the sequence that we sent the homies.
Yep.
So you get the chip guarantee after, and then the second one comes in to clean it up.
Exactly. If you're not already at chip damage range, you have to leave a gap to get that last little bit of chip damage kill. Perfect setup off of the bros, trying to challenge them once again, but gets caught out by parry. Up against the corner once again, just whip the close out for the frame kill, but instead we mash out with a little 2M action. All right, up against the wall, that mid-range catbot summon has been doing wonders for Incendiate.
Had the deep run on that one there for the neutral jump, full extension with HPA.
The basketball bomb goes, the crowd goes wild. A couple more throws could be it. One more parry, it's looking scary. The armor off of the tackle finds the sweep.
Yep, and again the shimmy attempt here. Look at this, Incendiate really playing with BSG's reactions.
Yeah.
And that's every single time that setup has been there, it's been a shimmy attempt coming from Incendiate. BSG has fallen for it every time so far.
Yeah, I think starting it off so bravely, the first time we saw the catbot summon into deep run, and we were just running in BSG space for 2-3 seconds, and finally gets caught up by the rockets. Now each of these shimmies just hurts that much more. But BSG trying to recompose as we head back into the character select, rethink about our game plan.
Okay. I mean, it's important, right? 2 points up is Incendiate. You don't want to go down and have to work even harder on the loser's side of this bracket. Get back in here. Lowain up against Vasaraga from Blue Sky Guy. Started out so strong, but can we finish the way that we started?
I don't know, man. We got the blue skies, the blue water, but maybe a rough way for BSG to try and stay alive. Again, just taking so much tempo off of the Catbot summon for Incendiate.
All right, the homies, alt edition, come through the Savage Rampage.
Yep, whip on the JL. No throw to be seen, but tries to go for the throw out of the corner, only for the back run to keep Incendiate's turn right back up.
Quite the low poke.
Yep.
The full combo conversion here, and does get the homie set up. Nice block, but still the throw opens up against BSG. Alt command grab to at least try to get out of this corner.
Yeah, still got a little bit of meter behind it. Yep, for the U Fireball. Catches out the summon. Exactly what we've been looking for these past 3 games. Now it's 6XL pressure, you know, just chipping away with the safe awesome sauce. It's looking rough for BSG. Yes, we get the knockdown off of the BC, but catches out the timing, the stagger.
Again, the patience here, but you can only take so much chip. BSG is now in chip territory, and why not? Why not dare a jab? I'm dead if I don't anyways, and BSG gonna full send it here with the Raging Chain. Overhead,
the booty bump, but it's not enough. The back throw on landing so close. We were 1 more chip away from the kill off that human pyramid attack, but still not able to survive. It's set point Incendiate.
And of course, BSG taking notes from Fuselet, another stateside Vasaraga here for the flip. Unfortunately, not going to work out for a victory here.
Caught up in the Rockets once again. Also, this back run just doing wonders. Even though we got caught out of the corner, still BSG has to fight for that corner pressure. Run it up, spot dodge on the Ultimate Bros.
Still got the stagger pressure here. Nice interrupt coming from BSG. Establishing a life lead.
All right. Soulforge on the board. The Bros whipping a miss, but we lost so much space off of the back jump. Now Incendiate catches on the backdash.
This block, but took a step away. Let's send out. The Savage Rampage does get the light ender. Ooh.
Yeah, runs right into the ultimate fireball. All right, HPA. I think we're just trying to find any opportunity to disengage here, right? So far away from a chip damage kill. So get me out of here. Oh, but the lunge puts you right in range for the punish. BSG takes a round back.
We are surviving for at least another round here. And I do like that patience, right? Not trying to risk it all. We're just going to stand block against HPA.
Yep.
Granted, we did get that break point back. I think that might have been part of the plan for Incendiate, but you're right. To reset the scenario, to relieve some of that pressure coming from BSG.
Exactly. Fighting to stay alive, but there we go. The hold on the 5U. Get the armor right back. Oof. And a refund off that ultimate instinction too. Just keep the armor up. Finally up against the corner. But when you're up against the corner, that makes the ultimate bros so much better because the effective startup is so much faster. Ooh. Caught out here with the run up Cosell. Once again, Incendiate bringing us coast to coast by the blue waters.
Still trying to take that lead here. Nice load. Just completely wipes the floor clean with the homies.
Yep. Oof. Spot dodge action here, just waiting off the sweep. The single step into the delay command throw. All right. Stepping on the beach to try and get that 50 back up for BSG, but sends it with the armor. 1 more hit could be enough.
BC out though.
All right, commits to the throw tech.
You have all the life lead in the world as long as you don't overextend and you stay within this range, because look, you're removing opportunity for Incendiate to build meter with 5U.
All right, finds the close L again. Still needs a couple more good hits to make your way through BSG, but the chip damage could be enough, but so is the ultimate armor.
That was critical. Again, staying purposely within that range against Incendiate there, just to make sure that we could call out any opportunity where Incendiate might try to build meter. We didn't want that opportunity to come through because that's the big comeback factor against Vasaraga. BSG, Incendiate, as you said at the top of this match.
Yeah.
Both rooting each other on for victory here, and now it's come down to this. I don't think there's a better way to end out a bracket other than playing in winners finals with your homie, your best friend, your trading partner, whatever it may be. Allies through the end.
When he told me this guy was going to make it out of the LCQ, I was like, all right, I believe you. I didn't realize the subtext was, but he has to get through me first.
He has to take me down over here in the winners finals and then make sure that he survives in the potential run back as well. But it's game number 5, the Celestial View, our final match in winners finals between Incendiate and BSG.
Believe in victory. Battle 1. Engage.
All right, nice. Got our low to start.
Yep. Ooh, the tackle and the mash out here. Incendiate trying to find any escape, but just gets tossed right up into the corner.
Service Soul Forge here, and yes, there's no BC attempt for you while I'm armored up.
Nope.
Strong start for BSG.
There we go. Ultimate Firewall, 5U Ender. It's so difficult to try and escape once you're up against the corner. BSG ran away with this round start, and the momentum absolutely in his side now on set point.
One more round here. Potential for BSG to advance that grand finals.
Ooh, sniped out of the skies immediately. Maybe the start above a 6-6 from that 4H.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe trying to look for a close out interrupt like we saw earlier, but a little bit too late.
Good tech here, not getting lost in the sauce.
The single stomp, but the immediate mashup from Incendiate. The hard read on the command grab to keep that corner pressure.
Insanely brave call out there from Incendiate. Not gonna get scooped up. The missiles weren't fast enough to force a block.
Keeping the health lead and then some. It's the walk back 5H. Nothing to be found. The single stomp. All right, wheeling your way through, but lost all that space off of the cap. BC.
Nice. Steal back the turn.
Yep. Double dip. There's no second raging chain. Not enough meter for that. Now run up past the cap box. Once again, the run up jump. All the meter in the world. Incendiate brings it to final game. Final round.
Battle 3.
The crowd going wild. The bros in the back. One more round and the swipe out of the skies. Run up right behind the cap bot once again.
All right, got the stagger.
Yep.
Opens up low. All right, but does get the counter hit off the dash shell. That's a corner lockdown position, but the ult to erase the cat bot and steal back your turn. But had to sacrifice that Soul Forge armor a little bit early. The jump back and
The full confidence on the run up throw. The jump back from BSG. Another hit off of the scramble. Up against the wall. Shouldn't be the kill just yet, but throw range off of this next interaction for Incendiate.
oh, see, so we activate this immediately because we don't want to get command grab in full send. It was a good call out here from Incendiate. Unblockable scenario. We got the cross under. Hold the guard button, says BSG.
Hold the guard button, hold the line. Chip damage might be a factor in a little bit as well, but no VP left for BSG. One good hit could be enough. The L starter, especially without the wall bounce, isn't enough. The ultimate command grab seals out a grand final spot for BSG.
Oh, it activated Soul Forge on stage. Wait a minute.
Yeah, he actually 5U'd IRL. That was insane. But of course, it's all love between these lads up here on stage. Incendiate down but not out. Sent down into the loser's side.
That was absolutely terrifying because all the right decisions were coming from Incendiate there. We were carrying back to corner with no break points. Comeback was imminent coming from Incendiate.
Yeah.
I mean, great effort, great heart showcase towards the end of the set there, but BSG made the hard call out, going for the ult command grab there to steal back the turn and secure victory, secure that winner's finals position in this LCQ top 8, and one step closer to putting themselves into qualified position for Group A of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Ryzen.
Yeah, and like you mentioned, right, what a terrifying situation to see the wake-up HPA in the corner. Lewayne, one of these characters who has really pesky ult skills. We talk about the ultimate bros as well, you know, ultimate cap bomb. So many ways to leverage this meter that just control neutral and the pace of the game. So to spend 100 of that meter just on a chance to escape, not even to try and kill BSG, but any way to try and escape that corner, we were so down afterwards that we were fighting for our lives.
But you have to plan for that, right?
Yeah.
It was one of those moments where if BSG did not press the offense in that moment there, then that would have been a free exit for Incendiate. So you had to. You need to show to me that you're willing to spend this meter, so I'm still going to pressure you in this corner. Even if I get called out by your activation HPA, that's not the worst because of the life lead that I have. Granted, there's a little risk behind that because of the breakpoint system that we were at. Right? Down with 0 breakpoints, that makes for a scary scenario, but taking command of that corner was key to victory there, or at least establishing that possibility, and BSG certainly took charge with that one, putting themselves in the winners finals. But our next set here, this loser semi is coming up, Niantic versus B-Paw.
Yep, our final first of two of the afternoon. A little Beatrix versus Fairy action, I would imagine. And again, we have the Matera, we have the Vicky in the back pocket, but I think Beepaw has been doing so well in this loser's run on the old reliable, I cannot imagine a reason he would switch off.
I cannot either. This is going to be very interesting between these two. Of course, you've already gone through the gauntlet with one Beatrix. You might go through with another here. But hey, if you did it once, you can do it again. And that's the thing, is that you're not getting the run back you're looking for, right? Have a Nice Day was the competitor, and that put Beepaw into the loser's side here. So no matter what, mentally, you were preparing for a Beatrix match.
Yeah. We got the cheers from the crowd, trying to make sure that Beepaw's run stays alive. But like you said, Cali's own Niantic trying to make a name for himself as well in this LCQ, knocking out so many names along the way.
So many players throughout this LCQ that could have made it. Honestly, like I've been saying, I had this solid 4 that I thought would make it, and then the rest of the list was so massive out of how many players could make it into the top 8 section of this bracket. Top 16 was certainly like, yep, that's who I would expect, the usual suspects, to hit the top 16 run, but the positioning, that was the shocker in terms of where we were at on winners and losers side of things here. Beepaw making this strong run. We're at loser semis here with this Harry, of all characters, still sticking through to your guns here. This is huge.
Yeah, this character looking even scarier in this version of the game. So much faster on a lot of these pokes, and that set play is still there like we know and love. We're heading right on into it. Our losers semis, Niantic versus Beepaw.
Now, the other thing you want to look at here now is that Beatrix has so many tools to just negate that long-range pressure coming from Fairy here. We throw out a GG, I'm riding free. If you decide to set up in an incorrect way, I'm riding free.
Yeah, exactly. Kind of a catch-all. Scary off of the preemptive up dogs as well, which you've seen from Beepaw in other matchups, just trying to make sure we don't get away with free jump-ins, free Thunderbirds, but an errant Beppo might just get you counter hit off of an H riding free.
Absolutely.
All right, wait for the 2M, but we just send it with the far H. The ultimate pirouette, a clean confirm off of it as well. Beepaw just chunking away at Niantic's HP.
Like a little spot dodge here in the neutral.
Yep. The double swipe on the 2M. Just wait it out, far L, far L, far L.
I mean, it's such a strong tool because you're trying to call out that riding free. That's critical. Being faster with that 5L really ups the ante in this matchup here. So you can't just throw it out for free. Ooh.
Waits it out. No! Okay.
Still got it, though. Still got it. Kept that pressure. You have all the life lead in the world here.
Yeah.
Good finish from Beepaw. Not panicking at the situation, just maintaining I still have the edge.
Yeah. I like the patience, right? Just showing, okay, I'm looking to preempt. You're riding free. I'm looking to wait out the DP. And now it's a counter hit starter for Beepaw, set up into the GG.
Absolutely huge. But I love the cross under. That's critical, right? Ignoring the GG behind you and getting cross under. You're better for this corner position for it.
All right. Not able to take your turn off the 50 spent on that fireball. Clean spot dodge for Beepaw. Fights back for this position.
Try to get the counter hit.
Yeah.
I mean, you almost had it there. There we go. Quick interrupt. Thought it was blocked.
Ooh, close but no cigar. Smoked by the Delta Clock activation. Space out, catching the extended hurt blocks with the EX Fireball. This is so good for Niantic.
My goodness. Yeah, normally at that range, you would not get the Delta Clock. It's literally because that lingering hurt box was there for Beepaw to get caught into it. And what a finish here. Beepaw will close out that first game.
All right, the golf claps from the crowd. Beepaw off a game. What are we thinking in this rematch screen? I mean, we've been seeing these button checks with the Matera. I wonder. No, we're good. No, we're chilling.
Thinking about it though. It's possible.
There was a little bit of hesitation over the Beatrix for a second. I was like, are we going to see the swap? But we're not trying to go against the master of zoners on his own turf, right? So stick with the Beatrix, see what we can do heading into game number 2.
As we take a moment here, it's such a stressful position to be in right now.
Yeah.
I mean, again, you have all the tools in your hands on the side of Beatrix, right? You can make a lot of these great interrupts. It didn't quite work out in your favor. And again, this match has changed a little bit because of how much faster that 5L is for Fairy.
Yeah, we see that from Matera as well, right? You know, a lot of these zoners having far Ls where you can kind of preempt and try and catch out that riding free, but if you get a little bit too antsy with it, maybe you're eating a Thunderbird, maybe you're eating a run-up triple attack from Niantic.
Yeah, full follow-up here after the riding free. DP for damage.
Ooh. Yeah, frame kill with the close Ls. Wait it out, but a little bit too shallow on the throw.
Ooh, at least got out of the corner of that JU. Not going to connect, but either way, back to neutral we go.
Ooh, just killing off the delayed GG detonation,
See, that's the darndest thing. The 2U is absolutely insane to deal with when you're trying to make that approach, because that's a big call for Fairy. A big call here to block. Beepaw finding the timing with the 2L to punish.
Yeah, there we go. We dropped that punish earlier. I thought Fairy had a 6-frame close time to challenge that and maybe get a little bit more damage, but go for the guaranteed punish, especially when there's so much riding on the line. 4 Ls, 5 Ms, and finally an EX Thunderbird to get UDP'd for your troubles.
Okay. It's looking like a tall order here. If you're locked down in this position, we're in the Grand Blue Zone, as we like to call it here.
Yep.
Beepaw with the no anti. See, that's been something that I've been witnessing from Beepaw. A lack of anti-airs even through the pools run of LCQ.
Yeah.
And that might become a problem here later on in this bracket if Beepaw continues to ignore those opportunities.
Yeah, I'm wondering if this is, you know, okay, we don't believe in the reactions, so we're just not going for them in the moment, or an active choice to just only focus on the ground game and try and play that risk reward that way. But waiting it out, don't run under on the Thunderbird. That day one counterplay coming up huge for Beepaw in the corner.
Absolutely. Let's maximize the opportunity with this combo limit. Let's call out the ult DP, baby! Beepaw with the massive life lead right now.
Yeah, the attempt to escape. If you're going to use a reversal, I agree with the UDP. At least you're not eating the counter hit starter. But speaking of counter hit, might have had lethal if you believed in the hit, but staggered immediately into the autopilot, but still finds a hit. Beepaw with the 2-0, moving on to losers finals.
One more game to advance. Beepaw really establishing such a dominant run in this top 8. Not coming into it the way that we wanted to. Of course, we fell to Have a Nice Day. Did not get the run back, but in spirit, we got one here.
Because you beat the guy who beat the dude who put you into losers. Now you're in losers finals, fighting for your life to try and make it back into that grand finals side and secure your spot as that last chance qualifier.
Absolutely. This is huge. This is absolutely huge for Beepaw. Quite the performance, and certainly a big one. There's a lot on the line for Beepaw here, but also so much for everyone else across the bracket here. Yeah. But that being said, we're going to take a little breather. I know Beepaw definitely wants one to come in calm, cool, and collected for this losers finals. Don't go away. More Grand Blue Fans versus Rising LCQ action right after this short break.
PlayStation.
おいおい、一体どうしまったんだ俺は。ここに至るまでの記憶が全くねえ。こりゃ少々飲みすぎたか。遠く深淵から感じるあのおっかねえ気配の正体、それを探らねえと。何、一度死んだ身だ。誰が来ようと怖いもんなんざありゃしねえよ。我が名は王、万騎の頂に立つ帰国の王。読みより湧き立つ正気、命立つ死神の剣。そのまま落ちていくといい。鬼どもの待つ地獄へとな。とっておきのやつ行かせてもらうぜ。瀬戸へ闇なる力、万物打ち砕く破壊の王のもとへと。この拳受けてもらおうじゃねえか。帰国の王人違いだ。その男なら死んだよもう。
Welcome back, everybody, to ARC World Tour Finals, brought to you by PlayStation Tournaments. This has been one heck of a Granblue Fantasy vs. Rising LCQ Top 8. Zero here alongside Jade-Su. Hold my hand. Midbest is in this. Midbest is in this Losers Finals. Let's go! I want to hear it for this Losers Finals. How do you feel about this LCQ Top 8 crowd? How are we feeling, huh?
Okay. Definitely getting some energy here for our last 2 sets of the Granblue LCQ. Couple more gamers, this top 3 fighting it out to see who gets that spot in the death group of Group A.
That's right. Group A. And you know what? Let's take a look at this road real quick before we get into the full story of it all here. I mean, my goodness. That set between Niantic and BPOC. BPOC coming out on top of that 2-0 victory over Beatrix. And that is huge because BPOC now earns a spot to go up against Incendiate in this losers final. We are back in first to 3 territory. And up at the top of this is Blue Sky Guy. That was, I'm telling you, the underdog of all underdogs is in this bracket, and not just one, not just 2. We now have 3 underdogs about to attempt their final shot at qualifying for Group A in the group stages tomorrow.
Yes. Fighting for their lives, but they got to make it to that spot first. Again, losers finals, first to 3, the rest of the way through.
Yes. First to 3 is all that we have left here. BPAW has been putting in the work with this Fairy, sticking to their guns. And my good, oh, hold on, I said sticking to guns. Wait a minute.
We call it a button check, of course. The secondary is coming out just to make sure everything is all good.
You think we got a button check after an ab break, Jade-Su?
Wait a minute. Wait. I didn't put 2 and 2 together. I'm a commentator, not a mathematician, but I am seeing player 1 and player 2 with this Siegfried and the Matera real quick.
All right.
I don't know.
Believe in victory, we got the button check.
Oh, okay.
Imagine being that good that you're playing on your phone, pulling a gotcha in your latest Granblue poll, which yesterday had the 100 draws, and I definitely partook. That is for sure.
I'm just saying, man, if I could do modern controls on one hand, Uma Musume on the other once EN drops, like, you already know what I'm rocking. But looks like these gamers are pretty good on the buttons. Yeah, make sure Raging Strike's all good. Make sure Slide is big chillin'.
Set the tone here, right? Of course, we've seen Luane popping from Incendiate every step of the way.
Yes.
Now, Fairy, of course, is going to be a character that can kind of challenge a lot of those setups here from Luane. We'll see if that ends up being the case here. We could also go with that Matera, but BPAW locking in on Fairy. Luane almost locked in for Incendiate, who sends one more text. BPAW's like, hey, listen, I got a job to do. I need you to get off.
You see him hold out the fist bump? He was like, are we good? Are we cool, bro? Yeah, we're cool, bro. Only one of us is going to be making it to that grand final side, but let's make it a barn burner of a set. The Luane is locked in. The Fairy stays on that player 2 side. Incendiate versus BPAW for our losers finals.
Here we go. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous.
I'm stressed for them, bro.
Like, who would have thought this top 3, huh?
There we go. Let the intros rock. Fairy and all her ghosts, Luane and all his bros.
All that we could do is give it our best shot here in this losers finals. Who's going to come out on top? The Fairy here, again, being able to snipe out a lot of the setup here. 5S is going to be a critical tool for that. GG setup is certainly an option, but you got to be careful on the homies being sent out by Luane, who can also chase things down. Kind of working the same fashion that Riding Free potentially could have, but you can still pepper the screen with a lot of interrupts.
Yeah, these long hitboxes also come with extended her boxes as well. You got to be careful of the ultimate flame wheel, but Incendiate playing it so slow to start out, but with your back up against the wall, again, whether it's flame wheel or whether it's the bro actually summoned, it just comes out so much faster. Now, the ultimate awesome sauce brings us all the way to that other coast.
I mean, look at this life lead that we've already established. Quick 2L interrupt, side swap, and let's keep you blocking. Wants to make sure that if you're going to spend BP, it's still going to be my turn.
Yep. Ooh. The deep run in behind the bros, just waiting it out. Ooh, the walk back sweep.
Cancel away. GG, just keep chipping. Now here is dangerous territory. Does go for the Raging Chain. We should be able to finish the job with this one here, because I was going to say, if the offense continued on the side of BPAW, you have to worry about the reversal HPA. Didn't have to worry about Yggdrasil at this life point here, but Incendiate had all the cards on their side of the court to finish the job.
All right, round 1 to Incendiate. Just a swipe out with the 2 M's. Yeah, caught you trying to approach.
swap here, counter hit. This is huge because we can activate GG for a full extension.
Yep, full confirm. Stuck her in the corner. We get one more GG set. Ooh. Okay, teched in the corner. No high-low to be seen, but still keeping you at bay with this far L. Ooh. All right, swiped out the pros. No confirm with ultimate GG, but again, this lockdown.
Nice spot dodge, but unfortunately not able to block out against the dash H. We are in quarter position. Wall splat, and Cydia's going to try to catch up here.
All right, still needs 2 more good hits just to tie up the life lead, but that's 1 out of 2. 100 meter on the board here. Ooh, waited out, ultimate DP. Now it's a clean knockdown straight into the Yiggy.
Do you know the mini game? And by golly, Beepaw has been playing this since. All right, Beepaw has been playing since vanilla. Should be able to dodge this mini game very well and try to keep close to Yggdrasil for a full punishment chip away somehow. But no, the overextension that was almost guaranteed. And like I said, it was always going to be that victory for Beepaw. I knew. I wasn't scared.
I was terrified. To be honest with you, I saw him with the startup of that far M. I was like, it's not gonna meet me, bro.
I definitely wasn't scared. Don't put the camera back on me, please. I wasn't scared.
Don't come to the commentator cam. I'm only sweating my life away. But still, fighting for that GG death, the BC to try and fight for space. Once again, Beepaw catches you with the toss on the way over.
Ooh. He almost dropped it, though. He really did almost drop the punish. Oh, man.
A hard-fought round just to tie it up in game number 1.
Good spot dodge again. Nice. Yep. See, like I said, the interrupt, but one miss still got out there.
I know, that was scary. I thought we were going to get caught up by the one rocket that could, but caught up by the single GG. That detonation doing wonders. Ponder the orb, all the close H's in the bank.
And that should just finish the job here, and certainly does. Beepaw taking that first game, establishing a route to victory, but still a couple more ahead of us here before we can round it out.
Yep. All right, let's see it. Take a second to think. Recompose. Wait, back into the buttons.
Just got to be sure. It's a comfort thing.
I saw an annoyed head nod. I wonder if there was a macro that maybe we weren't thinking. Maybe didn't get the check, but I don't know.
But I mean, you still won.
I mean, that's true. The
so
triple check, the quadruple check. Just to make sure we're all good here.
I won when I wasn't at my best? That's crazy. You let me do that to you? Interesting.
That's EX mental damage. Me personally, I wouldn't let that happen to me, but... All right. Yeah, even off of the wins, right? You know, we see Beepaw taking time in between some of these sets, between some of these games as well, just to make sure, okay, what worked out, what didn't, was that game closer than it needed to be as we head into our second, once again, this Losers Finals.
Oh. Locked in here for this game, too, and already GG sent.
Okay, awkward momentum off of getting caught from the Indiana Jones, so not able to find a confirm off of the Rockets.
Max range, and we're establishing that position with GG, and does get the full 5S.
Yeah. All right, stand on top, stand on business on the GG, but awkward little swipe. Finds us a side swap and the low bro as well.
I love it. We just gained so much ground away from Fairy, dash H to the opposite side.
Yep.
Oh, no!
No! Yes, you got the parfait, but at full meter, what is it gonna do? You drop the combo, and for what? I'm sure you're looking for an ultimate confirm, but looking for the ultimate wheel. Still, a clean spot dodge from Beepaw on the blue flash.
Oh, install? Yeah, you never see it. You never see it. Beepaw, please.
Oh, but so much time of that install just ran down, run it down off of the bro, and even off that 100-meter spend, Incendia takes the round.
I don't know about that install, J2. Why did we do that?
Me personally, retrospect is 2020, and I would not choose that if given the opportunity once again.
Well, you know, honestly, that corner setup would have been ideal, right?
Yeah.
It's about converting after the fact. Once we got that GG set up into install,
yeah,
that could have been huge for Beepaw, but we just didn't follow through after.
Ooh. Okay, run up close to H, trying to catch out a fuzzy tech, but Incendia content to hold that down back.
Ooh. BC away. And again, just as we make that slight forward approach off those normals, the medium able to challenge through.
Yep. All right, far H into the GG death to try and keep you locked down, but there's so much space to retreat and wiggle. Still gets caught out here.
All right, massive life lead, not quite getting to super. Ooh. And if we stay outside of Yggdrasil, this is going to be a pretty positive position to be in for Beepaw, because you can dominate this corner. What is Incendia going to be able to challenge with? Raging Chain, it's all but certain victory, and we do get the perfect one more round to continue in this game.
Yeah, had to guess for your life off of the high-low in the corner. Either way, it's the kill, so Tied up on the rounds here again. We've been seeing a lot more, you know, passive round starts coming out from Beepon now, trying to hold a little bit more space with the spam far L.
Oh, dash on into the DMs there.
No response. Still the 2M.
Nice. Caught the approach.
All right,
GG.
send out GG. It caught up the Catbot summon.
And you notice that Beepon is stripping away every option. Ult is going to be the one that will snipe right through.
Yeah.
But you take away the recovery of the ability by being able to snipe that out.
Yes. All right, not too much gotten off of the orb. We get the damage, but again, screen positioning still a little rough for Beepon. Fine to spend one of the 3 crystals.
All right, keep whipping away. Nice chip, but the ult's still going to come through. That's the one thing that's going to get Insidia a little bit of breathing room. The ult wheel.
Ult wheel is so nasty, man, but so is the cross-up. The off-screen GG dead. Beepon up 2-0.
He was like, I've had enough of this. Just one more round. Let's keep going. Let's keep going. You better get back in here because I'm ready for it.
That's evil work, man. He looks at the camera and says he's nice. He looks back at his NSA agent. He's like, oi.
All right, Beepon, one step closer to advancing this grand finals against BSG.
The thinker. Take a second to recompose. Do we swap up the tunes in Ox?
I'm just trying to remember right now if BSG, like, what is the record for BSG and Beepon here? Because as I recall, like, this Vasaraga might have a hard time against Fairy?
Yeah, I mean, I would imagine, right? Especially even in previous versions, right? It's kind of that standard, oh, okay, big body versus zoner archetype where, you know, she gets the knockdown, all of a sudden you're looping evil 50-50s, and also she can keep you at bay if she decides to, you know, keep you away.
That's right.
But, you know, especially with her normals getting even faster, the downtime in between some of these zoning patterns, I imagine, only getting worse for Vasaraga, who didn't really get too many changes in this most recent patch.
Yeah, I mean, Vasaraga is still such a force to be reckoned with. Can really kind of shake things up here against Fairy if she does get locked down in the corner.
Yep. All right, now game number 3. Tries to run up past the GG set, but instead gets caught up with a far L and still has enough time to catch you in the detonation.
All right, got that 5L. Already locked down again. This is such a nightmare scenario. And again, sitting in the grand blue zone to catch the jump out attempt here from Incendiate.
Yep. Ooh, there you go, the swipe out with the far M. I actually thought that would trigger the close M, but either way, Beepon able to find the hit, the spot dodge on the ultimate bros, but still gets caught up on the run up to L from Incendiate.
2M, let's bring it back in. Not going to challenge the homies. Going to get the 1. Oh, caught the backdash.
Yeah. Trying to escape, but nothing to be found. The bros got me, and so does the Catbot. The missiles holding it down. One more BP for Beepon.
Keep chipping away. This is going to work out well for you. Beepon is now on match point for this loser's finals.
Yeah, and I love what we're seeing with the awareness from Beepon as well. Now going for some of these far pokes, which is have been giving Incendiate these trade knockdowns off of the ultimate wheel, but now being aware, not autopiloting into the whip, and making sure we get the spot dodge to keep the turn up. Set point Beepon.
Little interrupt here, back away.
Unhappy.
Nice. Both homies down, so that's extended recovery on the 5S from Incendiate.
Yep. Wait it out, the down backer. Ooh, you want to spot dodge an ult wheel so bad and give me the opportunity to escape, but no, the run up caught out with the 2M. Now Beepon has you on 1 touch.
Yep, and oh, you spent the ult for DP. Big punish, big challenge, and big victory here for Beepon to advance the grand finals of this LCQ.
Incendiate sent down into the losers finals in such a close set, and Beepon sealing the deal, moving on to grand finals losers side. Beepon still stuck in the hot seat. You have 1 more set.
This is the thing. The last time Beepon was in this position was at Combo Breaker earlier this, well, excuse me, early last year.
Earlier this tour.
Earlier this tour, and it was. I would say that the stakes very different, right? Because obviously qualifying position on the line.
Yes.
But still very much the exact same scenario. You might argue like, look, that was Combo Breaker. That's so different, right? The pressure's different. No, it's very much the same here because you are now in a qualifying position to put yourself in the annals of history of Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising as one of the qualified competitors here for the Arc World Tour 2024. That is huge, and that is on the line today, not only for Beepon, but also for Blue Sky Guy.
Yeah.
We're talking a competitor from Vanilla Grand Blue rising up through the ranks and finding the best position they can find themselves in to get to the finals, but also an underdog and someone who's showcased tremendous growth throughout the year
Yes.
in this Grand Finals position in Blue Sky Guy with this Vasaraga. Let's take a look at this run because these two have had such a storied run in this top 8.
Absolutely. Of course, Destin being sent down into the loser side and knocked out by Beepaw. Have a nice day as well. And fighting for their way in that winners finals again. Like we mentioned, right? Incendiate brought down in such a close 3-2 for Blue Sky Guy. Sitting pretty in the winners side of grand finals. But Beepaw coming in through loser side and taking out Zenith, Destin, Niantic, and Incendiate on the way to make it into grand finals losers side to again try and find that LCQ spot for the Arc World Tour Finals 2024 group stage.
It's been such a run, and honestly, I don't know if anybody could have predicted this top 8. Like, this is an absolute insane spread, but also if you're watching the online tournaments going on, at least stateside, like these players have been fighting through thick and thin and have shown so much growth. You want to talk about the groups that have been working together to level up. Paragon's team alone already has how many players qualified?
They've got quite a few. You know, Zane's up there, Koji Coco, Big Chillin', Aaron Damac as well, and Beepaw's like, no. There's no way y'all are trying to leave me behind. I am fighting for my spot in this LCQ, but you got to make it through BSG not once, but twice to make it there.
Which would then mean Paragon has a player in every group?
Yeah, they're all split up right now in the groups. And the only one that they don't have a player in is that Group A, that death group that we keep talking about.
Yes.
So, I mean, one Paragon each is a pretty good ratio, but I don't know, man. BSG has been running away with the momentum for sure.
Yeah, absolutely. BSG is certainly one of those players and competitors with Vasaraga, who is so difficult to compete against. Vasaraga, that Soul Forge makes things a little tricky. But again, you can see the toolkit of Fairy being able to chip away at Soul Forge armor, being able to pepper away with the far-reaching normals and even specials to keep Vasaraga at full screen. Now, that doesn't mean that Vasaraga can't close that gap. I mean, shoulder check with Soul Forge armor certainly is going to be devastating for Fairy here. If you get a knockdown against Fairy, that's going to be all the better for Vasaraga, who will then be able to set up another Soul Forge, be in your face, and you're guessing for game on every wake-up interaction.
Yeah, it's interesting to see kind of how we've kind of gone back and forth on how we rate certain tools as far as the meta of Grand Blue Rising, right? You know, I think it's very easy to, especially if you're comparing it in different frameworks from other fighting games, like, oh, this character doesn't have a meterless DP anymore, you know, she's obviously going to be very weak on defense. Oh, this character, you know, doesn't have that reversal opportunity to threaten. Maybe it's going to be very difficult for you to get out of the corner. But as things have changed, especially in the more recent version, where you block out a DP, now you're getting not only a punish, but a guaranteed counter hit, you know, the utility of this meterless DP, while it's able to challenge maybe some of these gaps, if you're wrong, you are going to die. And if you're not dead, you're in a one-touch situation. So, you know, these characters both going in with no meterless reversal, Fairy versus Vasaraga. I think early on into the lifespan of this game, especially in Rising, maybe we think, no. At LCQ? In Grand Final? No. It's going to be Siegfried Nier. But things have changed.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing of it, right? Is that Vasaraga has always kind of been that threat. We've only seen online, really, though, like between Blue Sky Guy, again, who really rose to the ranks in the latter half of the year, really started rising up as a consistent top 8 appearance. And again, beating through bracket demons, but also we talk about Fuselit, who is online, you know, really putting on Vasaraga as a terror amongst those online brackets between Paragon Online and even TNS online brackets. So those have been terrifying to see. But Beepaw, just consistent, always trying to get games any day of the week, really trying to learn and digest like the options available to them, has gone through so many characters, you know, had a character crisis throughout the earlier parts of the tour, really trying to figure out where's my place as a zone competitor. Do I really need to commit to Nier? And I love the fact that even after that conversation at Roundhouse was literally just willing to go back into the lab and understand that character, Fairy, a little bit more. And that has come up so many times in Grand Blue. Like, the character spread, like, there are some of your clear standouts that are strong characters. But in my interview that I had with Zerom, right, talking about, like, it is possible to just pick your character and just run with it. That is certainly true, because you have Charlotta in a qualified position here. You now have Fairy here, who is about to go for their qualification bout. Vasaraga doing the same thing. Just because you're not at the top 5 selection doesn't mean that you are not able to achieve victory. Again, what do they say between every single round in Grand Blue? It's believe in victory. And that's what these competitors are doing here in this LCQ, especially with Vasaraga and Fairy. And the fact of the matter is, they put in the work to get here and have earned it. And we're going to see that word come to fruition here in this grand finals bout between Beepaw and Blue Sky Guy.
All right. Battle of the Bees as we head into this grand final side. Again, for those of you just tuning in, Beepaw has to win not once, but twice to reset the bracket and secure that LCQ spot. BSG, with the privilege of being in that winner's side, of course, only has to win 1 first to 3 on either side. Dressed to the nines once again as Beepaw has been sitting in this loser's side hot seat for so long. Is the loser's momentum going to be enough, or is BSG coming in from that heaven side again going to be able to take it home?
It's going to be very stressful here, but you know what? Somebody who's been in this position time and time again, Beepaw is no slouch here. I'm sure the pressure may be immense, but Beepaw is certainly capable of fighting through it here. BSG, I mean, again, the best performance, right? One of the best. First attack.
Yeah.
Huge turn of events for BSG here, and still in the hot seat one more time. Dressed for success here, looking to cinch the interview here.
He actually is dressed for the winner's interview, right? I guess that's what he's manifesting. He's like, oh, I'm trying to be on camera. I'm trying to say, yep, I'm excited to fight for my life in Group A.
Absolutely. This is...
He charges his crystals.
You know what? I got to do it. I got to do it. Crowd, who's got Beepaw taking the whole thing? Okay.
Okay.
All right, one more. Who's got Blue Sky Guy taking the whole thing? And that's insane. That sounded
Pretty
about even.
even
Did that
response,
sound even
yeah?
to you? Because it sounded even to me.
I'm not going to lie. I mean, we got fans of both on both sides. I'm sure there were a bunch of folks in the crowd who just cheered for both. They're like, let's go both players. I don't want to make that call right now. All right. The buttons are checked. We are big chilling, and we're locked in on both sides.
I'm so nervous, all right? Like, look, as often I've been through so much with Beepaw here, but also watching the story and run of Blue Sky Guy.
Yeah.
Like, both these players. You couldn't ask for a better photo finish of this LCQ. I mean, this will be quite the story going into this group section here, going into ARC World Tour Finals. Whomever qualifies out on top of here, folks watching at home and folks watching in the audience, you've won either way.
Exactly.
Like, this is quite the run for both of these players. And wait a minute, we've locked in Matera for the most nightmarish battle of Titans you're ever going to see, J2.
Wait a
This
damn minute.
This is dreadful for PSG right now.
Holy, it was one zoner into the other. The OST they chose, Charlotta's theme. The name, Noble Execution. If you're gonna die at the hands of a zoner, let it be on your own terms. Pulling up with the Matera for our final set. It's grand finals between Beepaw and BSG.
We kept talking about that character crisis, but this is one of the characters Beepaw truly explored.
Yeah.
Truly trying to find that zoner extraordinaire.
Yep.
And boy, oh boy, with the additional damage you get off those counter hits,
Yep.
if we get ult butterfly damage against Vasaraga, oh no!
All right, the 2H straight out of the skies. Yeah, these zoning patterns just demand even more committal ways to try and make your way in, with all of these arrows just getting so much faster in the previous patch.
Oh, okay, good respect.
Okay.
Or to pump the brakes. Nice roll here from BSG.
Slow things down a little bit, looking for the H arrow, but there we go. Counter poke off of the ultimate fireball. We got our 5U, but how are we going to leverage it to make our way in?
All right, we're chipping away here.
Yep.
It's all right. You still got the distance to react. Good anti-air.
Sniped out of the skies with a great fall. Chipping away at the HP, even with a bigger health pool.
Watch that butterfly here.
Yep.
Locked in. You can hold on to the block stun. And Beepaw is just absolutely fine with chipping away at your health.
Yeah, you're in throw range now. Scary. Okay, the armor still staying alive. Enough HP to fight back. A little bit of chip off of that BC, but looking for something off of the 5A.
All right, more rainfall here. We're still trying to chip out.
Stops the arrow in its tracks. The cutter hit starter up against the wall. BSG, you have enough for one more raging chain, but no, it wouldn't be enough. You survived with the armor and take round one.
It's one of those situations in the corner, darn if you don't. Like, yeah, you know, BC probably the worst option to take, but if you try to neutral jump the command grab, you're in trouble because you're going to get caught on the pre-jump.
Exactly. All right, caught up with the H arrow. Wait it out.
Oh, roll. We still got the throw.
Yeah. Tried to be tricky with it. Still stuck over here in the mid-screen. There you go. Plus frames off of the ultimate arrow. Snipes out the startup. Tried to go for that ultimate fireball, but nothing found.
All right, just remember, we had a substantial lead in the last round here, and it just drastically changed in favor of BSG. Oh my goodness, command grab right through the BC.
All right, little sweep action here. Poke out with the 5L. No full confirm off of the run up to H, but it's all good. We found a knockdown. Tries to set the butterfly. It's the ultimate tackle. Let me get a Soul Forge. One more BP. Scary situation. It's a one-touch situation on both sides, but the spot dodge throws enough. The booty bump to tie up the rounds here.
The layers in this offense right now. We'll see if Beatpaw can close out the victory, or will it be BSG to do the same?
Yep.
Nice. This is a great way to do it. Shoulder check, command grab.
Yep, run up scoop. Runs right through the butterfly, detonate as well, just barely spaced outside of it, and finds a tackle.
What do we got? Yep, unfortunately opened up right there. Not blocking on the wake up.
Yeah, ground to confirm. Consume the 5U. One more Soul Forge. The armored stomps the dead zone, just threading the needle between the butterfly, and BSG takes game 1.
Very confident round. A few armors to get through some of the projectiles coming from Beatpaw here. BSG feeling very comfortable right now.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, you heard it. The fairy on the lock-in.
The immediate swap as well.
Oh, Grimnir with the hope that BSG takes it.
Says
BSG.
LFG, BSG. I'm sure he's looking for games right now, yeah.
Truly.
Looking for game number 2, one might say, as we head on into it. It's the character swap to Old Reliable. Fairy is back on the board.
All right. You can't really go wrong with either character here. And again, the comfort food from Fairy, of course, is going to be on the table. With low.
All right, get to your Soul Forge. Oh, but swept right back into the corner off the recall.
All right, good little spot dodge.
Yep.
Do it again,
Spot
trying to
the
get the
tackle,
LGG.
sent out with the ultimate GG set. Tried to roll past the GG to avoid the detonation, only to get caught by Beatpaw on the way over. Already the comfort just seeming so much more in tune for the Fairy. The run-up JL baits out the throw.
Hey, wanted the BC right there, and unfortunately going to get duffed for it.
Yep.
Nice round.
Pawn to the orb once again. The momentum back in Beatpaw's favor.
Round starts pretty interesting here because we got the 5L, calls out the jump with the up dog.
Yep, 5L Beppo. Knocking on the door. We're just getting a little bit of space here.
Just please stay away from me from this distance,
Yeah,
from 5L
okay.
range.
Ooh.
Thank you.
Oh, spot dodge, able to find a pickup, even without the GG depth behind. Spot dodge on the ultimate fireball as well.
Oh, nice.
Nice. Multi-hit off of that ultimate pirouette. We're chilling. Back into the corner for you.
Oh, caught you standing up. See, that moment of hesitation because you thought the overhead comes through here.
Yeah, looking for that jump light, but nothing to be found. The ultimate whip is a clean ender for one more GG, but not going to run into range with that ultimate command grab.
Uh-oh. All right, you need that final hit, Beatpaw.
Yep.
And of course, BSG has an ult on deck.
Let's see it.
There
Ooh,
it
swung
is.
into the scythe hitbox of the ultimate fireball, so now stuck in the corner. BSG one straight hit away. All right.
Start chipping away. Oh, but called out into the GG setup. It is a darned if you do, darned if you don't, because you would have been chipped away anyways. Still would have been blocking GG.
Yep.
You had to stand block to try to survive that one brief moment.
That devious smile. He's back on into it. Down a game as we tie ourselves back up to 1-1. Hit the LeBron real quick. BSG, scream if you love Grand Blue. All right, tackle to start things off.
Stomp. All right, nice. We can't go for side swap here, but there it is. I was wondering.
Yeah, we got the cartwheel. We got the 2U. Oh, spot dodge on the way down. Just wait for GG to do the job.
I mean, maybe that first game was just information. There's the overhead finally coming from Beatpaw.
Yeah. Ooh, there we go. Tried to go for the tackle. Now that's 50-meter down the drain once again, and the BC baited out as well. Just staying at this perfect range to avoid any defensive option from BSG.
That just block being very important to reduce those resources, but still going to come out on top as Beatpaw.
Just whipping like chips in the night, not trying to commit to a tackle or a 5U.
All right, but does get the 5S. Ooh, nice. Got the GG set up.
Yeah. Caught on the delay match from BSG, now eating 50% of your HP. The ultimate stomps. Gets us out of the corner, but for how long? Okay, walking back, 5H. Little Beppo action. Man, GG is just doing such a good job of locking you down. I say as we get swiped back out, 5U is on the menu, the ultimate armor, but waits it up for the 5U.
All right, let's, shoulder check, and almost got pushed right back into the orb.
Just barely the tip of the hitbox avoiding you.
All right, nice little counter hit.
Ooh, with the attempt to roll through, caught out with the far. And B-Paw now up 2-1 pre-reset.
One step closer just to get the reset.
Yep.
BSG has room to relax, of course.
Refill them in the water bottle as well. We are EX hydrated. Trying to make our way into that reset side.
Pulling out another bottle from the bag of holding there.
That's what I'm wondering, right?
Oh, another one.
Infinite water hack? The 2x2 water tiles? All right. Back on into it. We got game number 4 up next, and it's back to the Coliseum for some more Grand Finals action. All right. Prep the OST, the next Spotify song, and now we got game number 4. Taking to the skies, but sniped out with that far M.
The GG approach. Will own this corner now with that wall bounce. Able to set up another GG. Ooh, but the overhead.
Yeah. It's so tricky. We've even threatened deep run in 2U as well.
Yes.
So the high-low threatened on both sides. So much respect from BSG. You can only be right so many times.
There's so much range between B-Paw and BSG where I can react to your next interaction. If you end up going for shoulder check, I'm ready to spot dodge. You can't go for fireball.
Woo!
Jumping away. That's a round finish for B-Paw. One step away from a reset.
We take to the skies, the fade away, the kill with the whip. All right, B-Paw, let's see if we can keep that up for one more round. Now deep running. Ooh, caught at the fuzzy mash.
You're braver than I. On these
That's what
deep
I'm
run-ups,
saying.
like, my goodness.
I mean, we've demanded so much respect off of these round starts from Far L and 5M. So B-Paw now on set point, reset point as well, looking to try and cash out on all the respect that we built up.
All right, there we go. A little bit of a shutdown, and we can just keep whittling away at your health.
Yeah. Look for the swipe, but B-Paw just staying right out of range. So much respect.
Oh, no. All right, could have been worse.
Yeah, that's true.
You did force a BP spend.
Are we going to see it again? No, the backdash caught out by the run-up close L, just waiting for it. B-Paw.
Are you kidding me? The double spot dodge. There we
Chips
go.
a factor. Ultimate GG set.
All right, respecting the armor. Very smart here. That could have been a GG. Yep, there it is. Got the 5L, got the reset. That could have just been chip scenario if we would have went for up dog even right after the ult Savage Rampage. B-Paw with that pop off. Feeling good about it. Got the reset. One more first to 3.
The stand up and then right back into business. He said, all right, hold on. I got part 1, now I gotta lock in for day number 2. Reset on the water bottles, reset on the scoreboards. BSG, now with the L on his name.
Okay, back to character select we go. Taking a moment to assess the situation as BSG, starts to really ponder, like, what are my options against B-Paw here? Because, they've been great, right? But unfortunately, you have to go through that layer of offense coming from Fairy. It's been so often we've been interrupted with lows. We got the far M, catching a lot of startup opportunity, and we're not quite getting that Soul Forge on deck in time to try to make that approach and punish against Fairy here. And it's a tall order for Vasaraga to do so. 5L round start already gets that interrupt immediately.
Exactly. Yeah, Farrell just doing so much work. Any safe way to try and get this first hit and bring us over to the corner where we have been running this game plan so well from B-Paw. Set GG, threaten to space out 2U, run up off of the JL, and just keep BSG constantly on the back foot.
And we keep pushing ourselves away from Vasaraga so we can get situations like this to get the up dog punish. You're away from the shoulder check.
Exactly. Put ourselves in a range where, oh, no pickup off of the recall and the whip, but still, the TK dive kick able to avoid the ultimate command grab.
Beatpaw might be in the mind of BSG, but finally gets that forward special to work out.
All right, running out of space and running out of time, finds the sweep, 5H. And there we go, a clean confirm from BSG.
All right. Oh, you got to be careful on the BC because we have Soul Forge. You know, Savage Rampage is on the way. Ooh, there it is. Should be around, and it certainly will be.
Now that round start looked as rough as all of those previous games where Beatpaw's been running away with the momentum. And as soon as BSG found that 5H in the corner, we just sealed it back out. Let's see if that's enough.
Good little spot dodge here. Again, spacing, so important. As you
Roll
get with
past
this
GG.
range, it's so terrifying against Fasaraga. Try to get the left-right mix up here, but BSG looks to be holding that guard button.
Yeah, roll to throw, big chillin'. Oof. Okay, single hit to the 5U, now we charge up. Oh, smart. Ultimate DP buys you a little bit of time. Again, clean on the spot dodges, just waiting for these screen flashes.
All right, caught the roll. Corner position, and look, we're in the Grand Blue Zone again. If you try to make a jump, I got the anti-air. But showing caution to not throw out GG until we get the opportunity off of a strike. Ooh.
Okay, no attempt on the 2H. Air blockable, so not trying to give up tempo, potentially on a whiff. All right, Ponder GG, Ponder my orb. Still pretty far away from chip damage being a factor, but the pickup into the level 1. Straight into this EX Hula. Beatpaw ties up the rounds.
Going to this round 2 at the reset. First game, the momentum.
Yep.
Still in the favor of Beatpaw.
Ooh. Wait it out. Up dog, big chillin'.
Ooh, and to get that max range.
Yeah.
Just guard still being important here. This happened. This is what I've been telling you about. This sequence
hate
here
this
on the
combo,
light.
man.
Oh my goodness.
You leave damage on the table for a little extra psych damage. I understand. Keep you in the corner. You tried to tackle, but one more BC is in your future. Run up JL. I would have got hit.
Ooh. Called out the BC. Neutral jump. Does get the full punish. Has 100 meter. Do you convert for the orb?
Two
No.
stomps into a fall.
Error.
JH
No
just hold
install.
on for the Heinrichton.
No anti-air.
All right, we got reverse beat.
Oh
Let's
my
see if
goodness.
the BB tag is going to be enough to run up JL. No, GG required, but it's such a scaled starter. Is it going to be enough with combo limit? We stay locked in. Beatpaw.
Twice now. When's the last time you saw install super from Ferry?
I guess like a few games ago, but before that,
It's been a long
it's been
time.
months, yeah.
Years. I don't think I've gone this entire Arc World Tour season ever seeing the install from Ferry.
That's what I'm saying. I've maybe
Like,
seen
this
it as a
is-
misinput like once or twice, but outside of that, Beatpaw just keeping it as a tool in the back pocket. Game number 2.
Yo, how many Beatpaws are we going to get? Let's go.
What is the dog doing up there? All right, takes to the skies, jumps over the tackle, but no punish to be found with the JH on the way down.
All right. Respect on the block here from Beatpaw. Spot dodge. And again, this alt command grab, but no follow after the dive kick.
Here we go, recall off the whip, goes for the ultimate pirouette, and 6-6H to swap up the sides once again. Push back into this GG debt.
All right. Close heavy to you. Pushing away for safety. The ult is still armored up here. Nice backdash away. Beatpaw is locked in, I'm telling you.
Yeah, Infinite Armor got you the hit, but it didn't get you the escape out of the corner, but another good scramble from BSG. Holding on strong, so much meter to threaten. Ultimate Fireball and the tackle is on the board.
Oh my goodness. That's a round. What a cleanup here off the forward special.
And as soon as we said it, cashing in the goodwill from Apollo, saw the foresight, and BSG round up here. All right, taking to the skies once again, but going back into that layer 1, again, just threatening the round start with far L's, 5 M's to keep BSG grounded.
Oh, geez, you thought. Once again, we got the startup at the special. Still going to get shut down.
Yep.
And we draw the line with GG. No forward approach. Up dog.
Let's see it. UDP is a clean knockdown again. Caught you swinging with the far M run up. JL, so many times we threatened the 2U, so it's so hard to escape. Even if it's not a ton of damage, it loops right back into that EXGG. Beatpaw spacing himself out. It says, BSG, I dare you to try and escape.
All right, that's a lot of alt meter expenditure here coming from BSG, and Beatpaw will return the favor. Put you right back in the corner. A deep run up. BSG is giving it their all right now. Nice backdash away. Every time it's been that literally the exact same chain of events.
Yep.
After the up dog, the alt edition being blocked, from the Savage Rampage. We get that backdash away for the command grab. And once again on game point here for Beepaw for it.
Yeah, we're making good reads off of the Sword in the Stone, right? That infinite armor, but the scramble afterwards, like you're saying, Zero, is not enough to seal out this round. The 6-6H, but caught on the other side. BSG just waiting it out.
Okay, this is a strong lead here for BSG. Exactly what you want until GG comes through, keeps you blocking. This is my territory.
Exactly.
This is going to be your corner.
All right, back to the mid-screen, walking back out just to avoid an ultimate tackle, but yeah, we cleared the space with that ultimate fireball and find something off the scramble too.
Interrupt there, watch out. Nice. Actually, max range punish.
Oops. All right, BSG with the life lead for the first time in quite some time.
Oh no.
All right, one more hit, one more stomp. And the smile returns to his face. BSG was down, but not out.
Absolutely, and unfortunately the BC was just a bit too far after the fireball coming through.
Bro, Grimnir's stressed in the back, seeing BSG fight for his life like that. He's like,
I'm
hold on, I need you to lock in, buddy.
I don't know if there's anybody in the room watching this not stressed out right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's fun here on the comms desk. Ooh, no, but we're sweeping and finding nothing in return. Instead, it's the whip punish whip. Not going to go for the recall to put you back into the corner, though.
Okay, nice. Oh, I thought I saw a spot dodge in there.
Yeah, right? We did see the backdash to avoid the ultimate fireball. No plus frames to be seen, but again, another challenge coming out from BSG. Oh. Ooh. Caught out with the 2L, no confirm off of the late detonation, but catches out the attempt to BC afterwards. BSG paying for that with his life.
It was going all in favor of BSG for the start of that round, and then very quickly turning the tide is Beepaw.
All right, take to the skies once again. No, afraid of the far M. Afraid of the far M.
If you move, if you blink, far M.
It's red light, red light. There's no green light to be seen. No opportunity to advance. But the empty jump is big chillin'.
GG Sen. Extra damage, full corner carry.
Find the detonate up against the wall. Did the full charge on the tackle too.
And
Scoop.
Certainly waited for that opportunity too. And not jumping. You notice, we've not seen a single jump out of that stomp at all.
Yeah. All right, ponder the orb between a rock, a hard place, and the bouncing level 1 super. We send it, and Beepaw finds the recall confirmed. You were ready?
Yo, and honestly, the damage mitigation just increased exponentially, but the full raging chain.
Ay, Dios mío. You tried to bait out the back throw, but got raging struck for it. Now BSG might just bring this round back. One touch apiece, a decent amount of BP on both sides, waiting out the GG. BSG, how do we make our way back in?
Ooh, caught the backdash with the far heavy, or close heavy rather.
Okay.
Still chipping away. This is still a game opportunity for Beepaw, who will gladly close it out.
All right, 2-1 for Beepaw. We got the reset, and now we're 1 game away from securing that last chance qualifier spot. BSG taking a deep breath.
I'm standing up too. I'm standing up too, BSG.
You can actually see it in the back. You can see my banana back posture as well, but we unbuttoned the suit jacket. It's time for business.
You know what?
I didn't think it would be a short sleeve.
I didn't think so either. I had to double take. Like, did you roll the sleeves up for that one?
I was like, it's kind of hot in here, bro. I'm kind of surprised that you got the full button up this whole time.
You know what? I need BSG to do the arm reload that Henry Cavill did. I need it right now, though.
That would be insane. I'm not going to lie.
Let's go around.
All right. The jackets on the back. Beepaw on the back of a potential reset kill. 1 more game away, but game 4 in the reset. Let's see if Beepaw can keep the momentum up.
All right, round start actually does not go in favor of Beepaw there. Catching the lingering hurt box.
Okay, the empty fall after the Indiana Jones, just waiting for the whip. Again, that back jump puts you right out of range for the tackle.
Didn't convert anything after that punish. Oh, okay, well, we got the BC though, the low to you. And nice fuzzy side swap.
Yeah, the JL brings you all the way over to the other side. A little bit of a drop on the confirm towards the end. Tries to go for a throw, but the ultimate command throw wins out in the end.
This is the thing, Beepaw was calling those out in those previous games, and now that we're so close to victory, don't you forget what brought you here in the first place. You calling those out initially in game 1 and 2.
Exactly. Now we got the ultimate whip, the immediate challenge on that 5. You not gonna get away with it. The ultimate pirouette.
Okay, does have another one here. That's the final one of the tank. Finish the job. Not quite there. GG not going to activate. Backs away, it does get around here.
B-Paw on LCQ point, 1 round away.
Nice. Goes for EX version. Every single round start, when that happened, it was the regular DP. This time around, I want my damage off round start.
Yep.
B-Paw closing out for corner. Good just block. That's very important there for Blue Sky Guy.
Yeah, that full commit to the air unblockable so early determined the momentum again. The JL doing wonders. We've only needed to show a 2L, a 2U once or twice just to keep it on the brain. Now the 6XM spaced out, but BSG not opened up.
You're only saving grace out of that fuzzy in the corners. The fact that it does so little damage for Vasaraga here.
Yep.
But it's adding up. 50% life lead. We do get the ult command grab or hit grab.
Yep. Ultimate whip, micro dash GG set. Stand up business, take your space.
Oh, we are standing on business indeed. We got another GG coming in. Corner position. Does block the overhead, but this is looking dire. Alt grab.
All right. BSG a little far away from that 50-meter threshold, so no ultimate skills to threaten, but we got the ultimate pirouette from B-Paw. Not quite the kill just yet, but any, like confirm, should be enough. Chip damage, a factor as well. GG, hold down the neutral. No confirm over the 2M, but another does it. B-Paw qualifies for the last chance qualifier, going into Group A. B-Paw himself making it through. We got the reset and we got the kill to seal it out. What a valiant fight from BSG, but out at second place here. Not gonna make it to day number 2. He said, that's me. That's me up there. I'm not qualifier. I'm that dude.
That is quite the set. B-Paw, the last remaining member of the Paragon crew, fighting for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising, closes out a spot in the group stage for tomorrow. B-Paw in Group A, and what a run. I mean, these two players, both of them, having quite a storied run throughout the Arc World Tour, rising to the occasion time and time again. B-Paw has been chomping at the bit for an opportunity like this once again throughout the entire year, and once again, just like we had back at Combo Breaker, it's all come full circle. We were one step away from qualifying, and by golly, we were one step away once again, but this time we've locked in our position and done it. That's a full Paragon run in the group stages right now, which is insane.
Yep. A Paragon representative in each and every single one of those groups, which you guys are going to be seeing tomorrow as well. So moving on into Group A with the likes of Gamera, Monarch, and Zerom is Paragon's own B-Paw, filling that 16th slot. And you guys are going to be seeing more of that Grand Blue action tomorrow as well. I hope you're excited.
Absolutely. And of course in Group B, you still got Space, Tororo, Zane, and Zippy. In Group C with Fitison, Koji Coco, Skill, and Elsa. And then Group D with Saki, Riazo, Rookies, and Aaron Damac. This is quite the spread and quite the story to see through all of these groups. All these players have been competing throughout the entire year. And you know what? There's someone else who's very excited about this victory here.
Oh, yeah?
And there is an individual on stage willing to talk to B-Paw. Cola, what is going on right now, man? How you feeling?
I'm about to give the most biased interview of my life, but I don't care. Hey, B-Paw, tell them where you from.
Chicago.
No. It's mid-best, all right? Now, I saw you walking around the venue. You were scared, you were a little nervous, you were a lot nervous. How are you feeling now that you punched your ticket to the group stage?
It's like, I mean, I said I was coming to take the spot, and I think that's literally what I just did, right? I said I was coming to take the spot, so I just had to do what I had to do at that point. So nobody could stop me. Also, yes, I was nervous. I was very nervous. I had to do laps around this stuff.
Well, look at you, solidify for that group stage. We'll be seeing you soon. For now, go get some rest. Commentators, back over to you.
That is mid best right there. Holy crap. I'm telling you, watching Peepaw throughout the years, not even just through BB Tag, but even on the rise here in Grand Blue has been a spectacular story to watch and follow. And I'm glad I got to sit front and center for it here, J2. This has been one heck of an LCQ, huh?
Yeah, it's been an absolute joy, and now we've solidified our players for Grand Blue group stages tomorrow, so make sure to stay tuned. We're super excited to see that action for you guys. Man, getting a front row seat, or I guess, you know, technically we're the last row seat, but getting to see it live in front of our eyes, it was an absolute joy.
It really was. I mean, just knowing the work that all these players put into it here, yes, Peepaw took the whole thing, but this entire top 8 run, which was an insane surprise for me to see who ended up stepping up to the occasion and really showing out for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising. It is once again another great showcase as to the skill of these competitors throughout the year and how any character can really make it happen, right? Like, Fairy is so, you know, one of those characters that is just truly underrepresented, and now we got that showcase here on Peepaw, and so many more players in the group stages to look forward to here. I know we have a ton of stuff going on throughout the event. I know we have Fukuhara and Akubo out there for a challenge if you're feeling like you could step up to the occasion later on today. So definitely check that out. But that is going to do here for Grand Blue Fantasy versus Rising LCQ. I've been Zero, J2. It's been a heck of a time. But it looks like we got some Guilty Gear Strive coming up next here for LCQ, so don't go away. Arc World Tour, brought to you by PlayStation Tournaments. We'll be back in just a moment.
See ya.
crush upon something. All of my choices, I could have quit. I am just too cold metal. I don't be fake. Keep it real. Keep it real. I get a good vibe. Keep it real. Keep it real. I wanna just be a trigger with a brutish impulse. Trigger, the silent preacher. Watch out, keep your hands up. Don't make a big deal out of me. Trigger, don't be curious about me. I don't want you to get hurt. Watch out, keep your hands up. Don't make a big deal out of me. Never mind.
Welcome back to the Arc World Tour Finals here, presented by PlayStation Tournaments. 2 games down, 1 to go. It is time for Guilty Gear Strive. My name is Proxy. Joining me on the cast, the man, the myth, the legend, Ringe. My boy, what's good?
You already know what it is. It's always good running with you, my man. Last time we did it, it was a hell of a top 8. So you already know we expecting a barn burner tonight as well. 8 of the finest competitors, 8 of the most elite competitors in Guilty Gear Strive history are here duking it out for not only 1, but 2 spots in the finals.
Absolutely. As we can go over and gloss over to our bracket here to see, it was quite a shakeup. As you can see here in winners, Super Newt and Toxin's going to lead us off with Red Ditto and the old man GC Yoshi in winners.
The man Yoshi, baby. Preying upon the individuals that don't want to do their homework. Sensei Yoshi coming through, being like, you don't know how to fight Bedman? Well, let me put you to sleep. You know how it goes. Loser 8s as well. We got Red I Am Not in the Building going up against Keishu What the Moo and PRA Paragon's own Jack going up against Kazam. Nothing but heat all the way through.
Absolutely. Good diversity of characters, as we can see, as we're going to have our first match, which is one of the ones I want to talk about the most coming up, is actually Noon versus Toxins here. Both of these players are on tremendous runs here. Noon and Toxins both with incredible wins. I was hearing murmurs, and I know that you heard the same, of an Anji who was just tearing it up, and this is the man, the myth.
Yeah, 100% Toxins, right? He's the guy that's been doing it. Yeah, I actually ran into Nitro outside, and he was like, bro, some San Diego Anji just beat Red I'm Not, just put all these people in a loser's bracket. I was like, what's going on? This is the man that we've been talking about, right? So, yeah, from what I understand, from San Diego, rocking the Anji. He's been putting bodies in bags, but as you mentioned as well, Noon on a hell of a run himself, right?
Absolutely. A ton of bodies in his wake. And also, I mean, Noon himself, obviously a veteran to the field, veteran to the games, and we were talking about it a little bit joking, one of the hardest players to seed because he is one of the clutchest when he's ready. When he's in the mindset and when he plays to his potential, he can beat anyone, anywhere, anytime. So not surprising to see him in this top 8. But, you know, it's like we said, it's been kind of a mess watching this bracket go through.
100%. And, you know, there's players that thrive in tournament, right? That just for whatever reason, when the lights are on, when it's a finals type of event, when it's a big stage, like for whatever reason, they're in there a little bit more than usual. And to me, Noon's one of those guys, right? He doesn't shy away from the moment. He always rises to expectations. He's done that time and time again. So he's definitely going to have the advantage in terms of the atmosphere, right? Being used to it, being used to the nerves that come with playing in front of a crowd and a big stage and on stream. While like our man Toxins, as we said, a little bit newer to this scene. So at least from what we know, right, as what we've seen on stream and whatnot, who knows, he's probably been putting San Diego on notice for a long time. But that's beside the point, of course, right? On a stage like this, Noon's going to have the advantage. I want to see if Toxins as well is one of those players that just embraces the moment and comes out swinging.
No, definitely agreed. As well as had a massive cheering section to every single win, every single upset Toxins.
Okay.
It was big support from the entire crowd for him. So, you know, got a lot of people behind him on this one, too. So it's going to be a good one. Very excited to see the West Coast matchup here.
Yeah, absolutely, man. My man, Noon, Southern California versus San Diego. Now, for those that are not acclimated with the area well, like they're just like, isn't that like the same place? San Diego is like a 2-hour drive from Southern California, if not more, you know what I'm saying? So, like, California, a big place, just like NorCal, SoCal has their own little rivalry. SoCal, San Diego does the same thing, right? So, and of course, Noon's also had a lot of time in Vegas as well, so he's kind of added that under his regional belt on top of everything else. But yeah, man, I'm very excited to see this. Obviously, like we talked about before, Toxins has been running the Anji, and it's a character that can catch a lot of people off guard, but I don't expect it to catch Super Noon off guard because he's so well-versed with the West Coast scene. And, of course, Braun is one of the best Anjis out of NorCal, so I assume he's got matches with him. I don't know for sure, but I doubt we're going to see Noon caught off guard. On the other side, Toxins, we'll see how he deals with the Bridget, excuse me.
No, absolutely agreed. And again, just to kind of retouch on the kind of run that Toxins is on right now, in a row, beat Red I Am Not 3-2, Lolo 3-2, and then Adventure 3-0. So that is the run we're coming into. That's the type of snowball that we have rolling at this point here. And coming into the matchup too, Bridget versus Anji. It's going to be a tough one for sure. Pretty front-loaded options from both players here. Noon, I'm so glad that Noon found Bridget because I feel like as far as being a type of player who loves to thrive in like using his movement kind of finesse, Noon found a perfect home in Bridget.
Precisely, right? Like we know where Noon comes from. We know that he really embraces the movement aspect of fighting games. And because of that, Bridget is a character that I think he's really had a natural chemistry with since the beginning of her time, right? In this game at the very least. So being able to manipulate a lot of movement, bait out things and whatnot, it's definitely going to be up his alley. And yeah, I'm very excited to see how this goes. I think this is the button check here that we're seeing because we are expecting Anji from Toxins, of course.
Absolutely. But I'm glad you mentioned that too. I mean, Noon, obviously, you know, versus close to our hearts versus game gamer himself. So we'll see if he can take it home for that one here. Going to be very excited to see how it goes between these two.
For those that don't know, I met Super Noon when he was 13 at Super Arcade, brother. Like playing the versus, playing the high speed, the high APM games. So as you can see, he's still here, a veteran, even in his, early mid-20s. He's got like 10 years into the game. He's one of those, right? So he's definitely, like we said, going to be used to this environment. He's going to be real comfortable moving around the screen and whatnot. But Anji always makes you hesitate a little bit, right? Like because of the spin, because of his different powerful big button type options, it's not just going to be as free form as you want when it comes to the movement.
I definitely agree, but this is going to get us started here. First match of our LCQ, and immediately we get that twirl, as well as getting the conversion off the butterfly, a knockdown in the corner already for Toxins.
And like you said, bro, when you have a supporting squad here as well, right? Ooh, and let him know off the first knockdown, we're going to wake up with the counter. I'm not afraid.
Doesn't get the wall break either, so now I'm able to maintain pressure. Great jump with the fan, though.
And punish it outright as well. Like we said, Super Noon, I think he's going to be well acclimated to this type of matchup. Catching him, trying to press buttons a little bit too early as well. Set up shop with the empty low. Oh, my man is chefing.
Look at the amount of meter, too. Just block, but it doesn't get you much room.
Double up. Ooh, he doubled up, but he couldn't quite convert, and now Toxins trying to make the most happen. Super Noon willing to risk the DP right there. He had burst on the other side.
Oh, and good delay. Once again, the good movement from Super Noon always carrying through. 50 meter on the table.
Ooh, the counter hit again here, the burst. Oh, and instead he just goes to the throw for that exact reason. Toxins is going to keep the burst holstered for another round. But man, oh man, Noon, he was well aware of any option his opponent could do.
Absolutely. Already mixing things up, too. Went up for the dash up 2K last time on that exact same situation. Already got the wheels spinning.
Right, that line. Oh, into the empty low again. My man is schmixing right now. And of course, Noon, like you mentioned, right, always willing to cycle through the options. He's got a plethora of them right there. And again, catching off the scramble, just going into a throw. That's a Strive classic.
Set up for it one more time. Ends up forcing the burst here. Toxins in a tough position. Catches the low on the perfectly spaced scooter. Roger comes through. Still alive, though, on a hard knockdown.
That was clean from Noon right there. His spacing is on another level right there. You see the hezzy right there? Oh, my Lord. Hit him with the sham god. You thought I was going this way, but I'm hitting you in the mouth with a yo-yo. Noonster off to the races.
Yeah, the dash up stop, very, very good. I feel like a lot of people will try to go a little more aggressive, try to go for the dash up close, and then maybe fake the back dash. And then as well as obviously with a good normal from bridge, you can't catch the back dash as well if people lean into it. But I mean, if Toxins hasn't shown back dash yet, I love that patience from Noon to show it to me and then I'll answer it.
Absolutely, man. I just love Noon already catching on to the rhythm, right? That's a big thing in top level fighting games, being able to identify when your opponent likes to press buttons. That hesitation showed that he's got an inkling of when Toxins likes to go about his sequence.
Recall the yo-yo was definitely good. Staying away. Has not really had to deal with Fujin at all.
Yeah, 100%, man. He's done a great job. Like we said, I don't think he's going to get caught off guard by a lot of this matchup. But Toxins, he switched up a little bit now to PRC. Was trying to drift on her dome.
Ends up finding the hit anyways. Catches the low and dash co. Very nice. Wall break with the super should be just enough.
Indeed, he just got the tension for it. Make sure she knows that a round is on the board for Anji and Toxins. We ain't going quietly into the night, best believe. And already, you see the Fujin letting it be known, gets the knockdown afterwards. But Noon has been representing the DP. 2 successful ones. We got to look out for the future.
Oh, Ko almost got us in trouble, but it does end up working out perfectly here. Nice FDs, though, to buy room.
Indeed, Toxins doing a great job right now, covering all his bases, right? Either spinning through the yo-yo or seeing the keep chase on the corner escape. Everything looking good, but Noon does have that corner after escaping, but doesn't look like for long as he eats another overhead.
Has some kind of, absolutely commits to the low. This is a big opportunity here for Noon.
Gotta make something happen here. The throw tech, Toxins, very nice
like that.
again, and the Rin overhead coming through to seal that round. But yeah, you could see the adjustments defensively, very much starting to look for the tech throw. Could open him up to something otherwise, but I really like the air dash in the corner, kind of the dodge on the anti-air, right? That was super sick.
No, 1000% agreed here. It's gonna be Noon opening up hot though. Already to the wall. I love that we don't go for the scoot there, but the Fujin does answer.
Ooh, and yeah, after conditioning with so many overheads, right, he's starting to sneak in with the hop, getting a throw off, baits the burst with the red stuff. Oh my goodness gracious. Toxins, we were talking about how quickly Noon was off to the races before, but look at that, shuts down the RC post wall break, tries to sneak in the dust, not gonna happen just yet. Great defense, but Noon got a ways to come back from, and it's shutting down the air escape this time.
Yeah, especially having 50 meter, that is really a relatively not risky situation to go for. I love the idea from Toxins trying to keep the lockdown, and a great 6P. Maybe just a bad homing attack there from Noon.
That could be. Nah, man, yeah, he looked like he tried the FD, but it was so far in that whatever he tried to do afterwards, the 2M was still able to connect. Excuse me, the 2S.
Okay. After the wall break, goes for the dash up, does manage to find the hit, has burst, but can't find an opportunity to spend it in an unfortunate situation that comes up all Toxins.
Yeah, it's definitely a good look for Toxins right now. Just really abusing the overheads early has kind of conditioned Noon to be on the lookout for a certain type of block streams. We talked about the rhythm earlier. He's definitely switched it up effectively.
Couple good 2Ps there. Doesn't get much for it. Yo-Yo is set up, but we are defending our ground so effectively. Not letting that Yo-Yo get accessed at all. Overdrive for another wall break and another hard knockdown for Toxins.
And D-May he just keeps attacking low. Noon is either trying to FD and get some space and try to move afterwards and just kind of misjudging the spacing. This time Toxins, oh my goodness, teaching lessons out here.
Disgusting on the follow-up. I love it. Down to what could be the final round.
Man, it's going so fast, actually. Noon has really found himself in major trouble. That's why he's bursting so early. Hopefully get around here and then build a burst for the final one. But he's got to survive this in the first place.
ID back was good. Great air throw as well. The positional win is massive here.
That was huge. Great switch up from Noon, honestly. He had been taken to the skies a lot, trying to escape that corner. That time he stayed grounded, caught Toxins committing to that option. Took advantage of it, and now we're already in the Kona. Oh, and again, catching him jumping. Send Roger to do the dirty work. That means a hard knockdown on the other side. You know what it is.
We've seen parry a couple times, though. This time we're going to hold on to it. YRC is going to be the choice. 50 meter on the side of Noon as we unfortunately get a hard knockdown, but an IBFD buys us a backdash.
That was clean. Yeah, he needed the extra room, right? That room from just the FDing wasn't buying him enough. But nonetheless, Toxins did such a great job of taking that into account, closing the gap. Oh, but just as I said, closing the gap, Noon does that exact thing. Skates on in. Trying to make the burst out Toxins. He's been willing to hold it, and he's going to once more. He's still on set point here.
Nah, definitely smart, especially having this lead. No reason. You can play kind of risk adverse at this point.
Oh, the overhead is finally blocked. Noon starting to adjust. Could open up something else later, though. So we got to keep an eye on. Great maneuverability right there. Just right outside the range, the 6P.
Punching the Fujin was perfect. Love the wild assault as well. Catches him trying to reach a little too far. Gets the wall break and has meter to spare.
Oh, just hit him in the face again after the wall break. That's the thing. Against Bridget, you really got to respect her wall break game. The delayed burst is still blocked, still punished, and the Noonster forces a game 5.
Extremely strong patience shown there from Super Noon. Sip of water for both of them as we get back in again. Incredible play leads us down to our final game.